wine. Hitting go live now.
But we love you all anyway.
I got an oops, something went wrong with a YouTube monkey. Let me.
What do you mean?
Oh, I know why. God damn it. We're probably streaming, so anyway, hold on. I just got to do a thing. I was on my other profile, and of course, it switches everything. I hate that you can't have two YouTube things open. All right, let's try that.
16 people watching.
Hi, 16 people watching.
I found an ad. What is happening? Tell us if we're live, because YouTube is being weird.
Oh, we're live now. Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Hi, everybody. You missed us, didn't you?
I feel like we probably did. With every cuddle so far.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah. The pre-show version was less cuddly. Hi, Stuart. Happy New Year. Happy Christmas. Merry New Year. Merry Christmas.
Happy all the things and merry all the things.
Thank
Unless
you.
they're gold diggers. Don't marry the gold diggers.
Okay. What if you have two gold diggers who marry because they each think the other person's rich?
Well, then they can beat each other to death with the shovels. The metaphoric shovels. And whoever comes out on top...
Right. Gets nothing. That's before established.
Because they get divorced. Yeah.
Yes. So what are we doing today, Stuart?
Yeah, so welcome back, everybody, from the holidays. Hope you all are well.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done a live in a while, so... Well, I have, but, I mean, Samuel's been slacking. I've done a bunch of lives over the holidays.
Here's what I found.
Shut up, you. Anyway, we're back, and we're starting off with a tier list again.
Yes.
We're going to be ranking uniforms.
Certainly a mild passion of mine. Something that you've also grown to like even more as time has gone on.
Yes, indeed.
And this is to clarify, this is the standard issue uniforms of said era or variants of era, as in if there's a JJ or a Kelvin, whatever. So it's the standard uniform, not admirals, not spacesuits, not wraparounds, the standard. To see where we judge the world of Star Trek uniforms, the classics of the uniforms. And yes, there might be multiple TOS-ish looking uniforms, because guess what? They keep going back to this well. So there's like 6 TOS uniforms that are not all TOS, of course. They're interesting how they rank, because of course they're all based on the original 60s one.
Yeah, it'll be fun. A fun little journey. And you guys can put in. We want to hear from you guys. As always with these. Remember, your super chats can bump things if you don't agree with the decisions being made.
Yes. And super chats power the channel. So chat the super of us to the future.
Exactly. What he said.
But clearer. And yes, Gorgonzola, I did. Stay until the end and I will shower you with praise.
I have not received anything from Gorgonzola.
I'm going to start sharing.
For the record. You start sharing, and I'm going to yell at Gorgonzola. Where's my shit? Anyway, guys, hit that like button. And don't forget to show your support by hitting like and super chatting during the lives. Also, check out the options for joining the channel. We're going to have a new fleet video soon, and you guys want to be in it, right? So click the join button, look at your options, or head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. That's another way you can join on a monthly basis and support us and help us out and be part of the Trekyardian family, because you know you wanna. So do all those things, help us out in any way you can. Click the links down below to Teespring, TeePublic, buy yourself some cool Trekyards merch. Olivia recently got herself a pair of Trekyards socks. She did, from Teespring. So click those links and check those out. And just participate in the lives. Let us know your opinions, your thoughts, your comments, your questions. And if you can super chat, please do. We'd really appreciate it. So all of the things to help us out. Also share the content. Share the Captain Foley personal content as well if you want. But yeah, help us out in any way you can. And we will just dive right in a second here. So, oh shit, Samuel's back. Everybody be quiet. Shh.
Yes. Hello.
The teacher's here. The teacher's here.
Oh dear.
All right.
Even though you're older, therefore more wise.
I'm the principal. You're the teacher.
Ah.
I can still give you shit. That's how that works.
But I can rally the troops against you.
Sure.
So, Stuart, we have, gosh, how many? 2, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 uniforms.
Holy crap in a hat. That's a lot of uniforms.
And we had done this as a top 10, 12, 15, 18 months ago. And also it's a different formula because it is about picking the favourites and ones have to beat each other out. But also a slight margin can raise things or lower things in that ranking. Often we would then find one that, oops, that should only be higher, that shifts everything else. This allows us to give, joke intended, uniform grades between rankings. And see where our top tiers, S, A, B, C, D, and F. F being the worst, of course. S being the creme de la creme. And A is an incredible thing. S is that special extra secret sauce. We're including all of the, let's call it prime timeline uniforms, which does include, of course, the Stranger Worlds, the Discovery, and the Future Discovery variants, and then also the Kelvin timeline uniforms as well, which includes Franklin and Kelvin, because they are still that art design as sort of a different thing. Pretty broad thing, pretty broad whatever. And last time we did it, we had a certain number. I think I put another 7 since we last did this, which means they've invented 7 new uniforms. Just since we've done this.
Of course they did.
Of course they did.
For every minute of screen time, there's a new uniform.
Yes. Let me do a poll.
Do the poll. Do the poll. Guys, 43 of you here, 25 likes. That is awesome. But let's get those likes up higher. We can get to 50 likes easily. Hit that like button now if you haven't done so already. And let us know how you guys are doing, how your holiday was. Have some good conversations in the chat there. But yeah, we're going to look at some uniforms and it's going to be great. I don't have anything else to say. Lots of uniforms. So. All right. While he pulls it up, I'm just going to remind you guys, hit like. Stephen Fothery is here.
Good to see
I've
you.
been saying Fathery, like, for how many years
7
now?
years, yeah.
And, yeah, I go watch his streams, and he says Fothery, and I'm like, I got to remember that, and I always forget. And so he's here with $2. It says, I wish all the shows agreed on one style for 2380s.
Yeah, there's a variety. There's a variety. But Stuart, I went for the most basic of polls. The 4 most standardized, all over the world, all over the place uniforms. What's the poll, Stuart?
Is this uniform your favorite? TOS, TNG Season 3 and beyond. Voyager, the colored shoulders, or First Contact, gray shoulders. Ooh.
The basic 4. We'll do
That's
ones
great.
Later. So, Stuart, are we going to do this chronologically, or are we going to go randomly?
I guess we'll go chronologically until we don't, because I think at one point we're going to have to not go chronologically. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, excellent.
Just jump right in. I'll pull the first one in. How's that?
Excellent, yes.
You're so happy.
I am, yes. I'm excited for this. I pitched this ages ago and set it up.
Here we go. So Enterprise.
Ooh, there's a white border around as well.
I know, it's fancy.
You can jump in first, Stuart.
I actually really like these. I like pilots' flight suits, and this one definitely has that feel. Lots of pockets, lots of zippers, lots of places to store things. It's very utilitarian and feels like a perfect jumping off point for what a Starfleet uniform would be, moving on from like military like I said, like fighter pilots. And they look really comfortable. You can unzip them, cool off a bit. And yeah, this is one I really want to get a hold of. I want to get one of these at some point. So, and I know a lot of people don't like jumpsuits necessarily. They can be kind of binding in the crotch. But, I've worn one before and I found it very comfortable. So,
well, a fitted jumpsuit is designed to fit you and not be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's when cosplayers don't do that. You know, when I put my Voyage one perfectly sized to me, I forget I'm wearing it after a while because it is for me, right? It's set for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is a great one for me, personally.
I mean, this is where we're going to get, even though there's a standard, there's a few of these ones that go away from the curve of logical evolution or devolution. This is its own thing, right? So I'm going to judge it on its own merits for enjoyment. I'm not judging how it fits into canon, how whatever. This is purely reactionary what we think of it. So for me, it looks good on screen. I've seen a couple of screen used ones, and the fabric is phenomenal. The color is better than you think. It's not this purple. It's a more, it's a weird color that is different than on screen. The classic Star Trek conundrum. It is comfortable. I have worn a version before. I like the patch. I like the fact that the color is understated but clearly there. It is, though, if you took away, of course, the line and the patch, it's just a boiler suit. Nothing else to it. So as a uniform, it's certainly the least uniform because it's just a boiler suit with some color. Do we like boiler suits with color? Yes. Does it work in the show? Yes. But it's certainly one of the least creative. Well, I suppose you could argue TOS is just a jumper and some trousers, but then you start subdividing into complication things. I'm going to give this my gut reaction, because I know there's a lot of better ones. I'll give it a B or C, because it is sort of a fine baseline, but there's nothing particularly interesting about it. But it's a good general quality of it fits where it is. What do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say B for me. As much as I love it, it doesn't have the panache that an actual uniform of later eras does. So, I would say B.
And I like most uniforms in one way or another. So this is probably not a situation of, oh no, it's a D. It's like, yeah, but no, it's just it's not an A. I wouldn't say a B is a negative point in its regard. A B is just better than average. No, that sounds bad. You're just not quite reaching an A, etc.
Yeah. B's fine. I like that. It's a good way to start out.
Cool. Next, though, chronologically, we have the Discovery era uniform.
We sure do.
Far more uniformy. I appreciate their connective tissue with Enterprise. It is sort of jumpsuit vibing because it has got the same similar pockets, but it is also uniform. There's a lot more detail into it. The color code is interesting, although the deltas always annoys me because it's just unnecessary beyond belief. They sometimes look smart on the actors. They sometimes look not so smart. I don't know. It varies. I think they, just like the Enterprise ones, if you took away a couple of things, you wouldn't say Star Trek, meaning probably just the delta. If you took away the delta and made it green, I don't think average people say, that's a Starfleet uniform based on the evolution of uniforms, right? Same with Enterprise, of course. So you could argue it's doing a good job. But this one being so close to Cage, and given that, we saw a flashback of them wearing a different uniform, because we saw a Pike flashback, and that was before this, because Cage was before this, and they were using the right uniform, so whatever. If they were, in between, properly in between, I could buy it, but not this close to TOS, because it's such a radical change into TOS. But I just had similar critiques to Enterprise, so that's where I'll leave it. What do you think?
All right, so this is a weird one for me because I do like the disco uniforms. They look very smart, or they can.
Yeah.
They look good in the different colors. They are a nice progression from Enterprise just for the color of the fabric and kind of the feel, the way it looks. But they also feel like if they just kept the exact same thing and put it post-Nemesis era as like a new kind of uniform for experimental mycelium spore drive ship,
it's mycelium uniform.
Great. Yeah, with the gold and the silver and the copper. I think they're really smart looking uniforms, and they just don't really fit in my view into the timeline where they are. But at the same time, like I just said, they kind of carry on from Enterprise a little bit. So it's a weird dichotomy for me in that regard. So
can I jump in a brief comment?
Yes, absolutely, anytime.
Okay. If you remove,
except when I'm talking.
Which I waited. If you remove the arm color and the chest sides color and just have flat blue, but now clear two-piece with a bigger and the Delta, would that be a better link? Because now you've gone from a one-piece jumpsuit to a two-piece jacket, but it's now blue, clean blue, bigger shoes, Delta. Would that have been more logical in between? Is it the extra stuff that makes it feel weird?
If you take that extra stuff off and
Yeah.
take the Delta off, it just feels like a futuristic business suit. Like you
I'll
see.
keep the Delta though. You can keep the single.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you put the Delta on, I don't know. All one color wouldn't be as. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know. We just see a lot of futuristic shows like The Expanse and stuff. And you see people in future three-piece suits, and it's just like a lot of extra stuff off of it. I don't know.
Where do you want? Where are you gutting here?
I really like this one. I'm thinking C. Yeah,
I'll say C.
Sweet. We're firing on all cylinders today, you and I.
Yeah, if that's as low as I'm gonna go, which it might be, I don't know. I just don't. I'm not gonna. I'm probably a mid to low C if I'm being technical.
Yeah.
But I don't vibe D.
No.
Now, if you guys effing F the D, because it's in C, and you want to throw it in F, super chat, and you can actively move us. Yes, it does, Dan. Actively move us one or the other, because hey, your super chats are very important to this show. And you can help move things around.
Yeah. And hey, Dan Hall, how's it going? Daniel Hall is joining us. You remember Dan? Roga. Yeah. Good to see you, Dan. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. Anyway, next up on the roster is, chronologically, The Cage, 2254. Now this one feels very much like a sweater, or a jumper, as they say in backwards land, with a small, tiny little Delta on it. And the Delta is very, very kind of subdued. They definitely ramped that up for TOS. But yeah. I like the way it looks. It looks clean. It looks a product of its time, though. It does look very 60s. But I don't mind it at all. And I think as a starting place, it was good. And then adding the black collar and stuff and changing the Delta a little bit to make it TOS and change the fabric, but keep the colors. I think this one works well for me, and I don't know where it's going to rank. It's not going to be super high. I'm kind of vibing a B already. Maybe even less, maybe even a C, actually. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it lands, because I do like it, and they have kind of shown it in Strange New Worlds, the picture that Pike has of him in April. They have a similar version of it. So it can be updated and look good, I think, but it does look kind of simplistic at the same time. Thoughts?
Yeah, it has a very loose energy to it. It does feel like something your grandmother could have given to your granddad, and he put it on, and then he walked out the house with it, and they added a Delta, right? It is not crisp. It is not sleek. And it's odd how it's so similar to TOS, and yet it feels so radically professionally different, right? It's fine. It's. I'm glad they had this step up between the two. For whatever reason, right? It's fabric cut, just all the small things, and just all of it combined. I would say, knowing that there are so many better TOS looking version uniforms on this, I want to give it a C, because I think it's probably the worst so far in my brain of the TOS variant ones, because it is below fine to me. Like, it's okay. That's just me.
I'm happy with a C. Like I said, I kind of, while I was talking, changed my mind to C anyway.
Yeah, it's all the little things, and thank goodness it improved, right? Like, it got us to the place we needed to be. I don't dislike it. I don't think I'd look very good in one, but I don't think lots of people would look very good in one.
Yeah.
Oh,
we kind of
TOS.
Yeah, and Dan asked if we're going to have Kelvin stuff. We are, so we kind of went a little out of order a tad because we have the Franklin as well, which I'll pull in next, actually.
Brett, put them to the side.
Yeah, I know. I wish they were all in order, but that's okay.
Okay, back in time we go. To a new universe we go. I was so close to getting TOS, damn you. Franklin!
Teasing.
Now this is a funnier one, because blink and you'll miss it in the sense that Spock just suddenly wears it in Star Trek Beyond. They never really acknowledge it. He's not the lead of that part of the movie, fine. Very much NX vibing, and clarifying, what we see is specifically the uniform that the Franklin crew wear when the ship crashes post-Romulan War. We don't know what it was launched with. We can't even speculate because the Franklin was made pre-war, pre-NX-01. But this is specifically a post-Enterprise uniform because that's when it crashed. So for that, as before Discovery was invented, so this is them invoking a TOS NX hybrid. I think this adds a nice sci-fi detail set in TOS. Color, I kind of like it. It's still very jumpsuity, but it's not much after NX. I mean, it's a couple of years. It's very, very close. But I kind of like it. It's still obviously got the Kelvininess to it. Like, it shouldn't have the Kelvin badge. But you could argue that maybe Spock wore his own badge, but no. It should have... If it did have a side patch, so it had that element... This is concept art because this is good way of showing these images, so it was tweaked a little bit. But I reasonably like it, but I don't love it.
I'm of a different mind. I really like this one. It kind of feels like a biker gear almost, but it's a nice. It's taking what we said about the Enterprise one and kind of modifying it to be that next step, more uniform-ish. Yeah. And I think it actually...
I like two dictionaries.
Yes, exactly. I think it actually really works. So this is one I really like, and one I personally would like to own as well. Even the Franklin jacket, or the Kelvin jackets, those kind of things. I like those.
The jacket thing, yeah, you're always a big fan of those.
So this is... For me, I want to put this at least at a B for me personally, but... Where did you put it again? Did you say?
I didn't say no because we're the other person speak beforehand. I think I like it the same as Enterprise for different reasons.
Yeah.
So I will agree with a B.
Okay.
Because I think it has some appreciative. You tried and you kind of succeeded. Sort of like, I appreciate the effort. I think it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I want to see more of it.
Yeah.
All right. So which one do you want to do next? Do you want to keep going with Kelvin and get them out of the way, or?
The Kelvin would be next. So just jump on the Kelvin. So that's for you.
The Kelvin. Oh my good God. All right. This. Thanks for that. This is a pair of pajamas. This reminds me of Beverly Crusher's uniform in All Good Things when she was a captain, which I despise. It just looks lazy and just thrown together. And the pants, they look like
the trousers. Those in the rest of the world.
Yeah, trouser. Yeah, maybe we want to see his pants. His underwear.
Deltas everywhere.
I don't know. I don't like these. For me, I don't think they deserve an F, but I think I firmly planted it in a D spot. Just they don't look crisp and form-fitting. They look kind of sloppy, and as a result, I feel like they just look like pajamas, which everybody makes the joke that the TOS ones are like pajamas, right? But they're not really. This feels more like a pajama. It's just like thinner material and just kind of off. So there you go.
Okay, just say, guys, Stu, what, 90 people watching?
Hit like, everybody. We only have 53 likes. And Ozzy has welcome to the Federation Council. He's joined the channel at Federation Council. Thank you, Ozzy.
Joining is a big deal, guys. All 90 of you watching, it does support this channel. Let's do what we do and have these fun contents for you. Ships every Saturday and things in between. Speaking of Stuart, tomorrow we're doing the next TNG review. And Friday we're doing our next Versus live game show. It's this fun, but even more hectic. So do tune to those because we do lives every single week on many things, and we enjoy it. So do tune in at the same time, guys. So if you're free at around this time, check on our channel and see, because we're doing stuff.
And Stuart Perry says, shirt tucked into trousers, granddad style. You know, that used to be the style that everyone did back in the 80s. I did that all the time. So, yeah, things change, but it's the belt that makes it look granddad style, I think.
So, I was at school more recent than you were, and so we had to wear a shirt and a tie every day until I graduated. So, therefore, tucking in was normal, right? I've had more years untucking than tucking, but although I think it's more the belt is so high because belt height has gone down since people were older. It used to be at the waist, and then it became, well, that's embarrassing. Now it's lower at a hip, which I think looks much more normal. So that's anyway. My opinion, the uniform. It looks semi-trash from this shot, but Rabot looks okay in it. Because
except for when his comm badge disappears or his delta.
The second shot of the movie, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But he doesn't look bad in it. Now, if it had a primary color, if it was red, blue, and whatever, that probably would improve it. And if it had some, I think there's something, the way it sits on him with a line, it works better than conceptually. They could improve it. But as this stands, it's underwhelming to the nth degree, and you certainly wouldn't say Star Trek without a badge. Nothing about this would say Star Trek, but it looks good on a bow, so I'll say D.
Yeah.
I'm not annoyed by it. I'll say D.
See, the other thing that bothers me is the line, the lazy line across here, and nothing going on above it. If they had changed the color, that might be nice, but that's one of the things I hate about Beverly's too. Is just that line. It's like, let's put something in there.
Yeah, if the top
doesn't feel complete.
Yeah, if the top had been the blue, red, and gold, that could be interesting. Very Voyager-esque, but would have linked TOS more.
Yeah. So get the hell out of here, Kelvin.
So once again, I get TOS.
Lowest ranking so far. We've got. Do you want to go Kelvin or TOS next?
Well, TOS is first.
We'll go TOS.
I tell you what, I'll take the females one, so you can take the main one. There you go. My gift to you, so you can harp on. Oh, no, I'll take a hers. It's a standard uniform, so you can take the main.
Fine.
And it's funny. I just watched some stuff with Marie recently, and and she commented that skirt's very short. I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, the TOS female, which is there, Stuart, if you want to swap them over. There's a graphic for it.
Oh, you want the female one?
Yes, I'm doing female. You can do the male one. Because there you go. I gave it to you, Stuart. You know what?
I wanted the female one. I insisted it be included.
Wait. You want the female one?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's okay. It's fine.
Oh,
I get a chance to talk about it. It's just.
God, I thought you wanted the classic one. Drama.
No, I was wanting you to do the classic one first, but that's okay.
Goodness.
Go ahead. Take it.
Okay.
You know what? I'll throw them both on screen because why not?
Fair. Oh, both at the same time. Let's not do that.
All right, and go. You talk about yours. I'll talk about mine. Ready?
That's just gonna hurt people.
Oh, okay. Well, before we do that, Ozzy though, $2. Does it have pockets?
Probably.
Okey-dokey.
Probably that one does.
The Kelvin one, I think it does. Yeah, looks like it does in the pants, maybe.
Let's just do both TOSs together. That makes sense. Okay, TOS classic standard, beautiful, sleek. Every version of actors have seen it, from the DS9 crew to the TOS crew to the Enterprise crew, have all looked great in them. The trousers are wonderfully flary. The boots are very tall and smart. The braids are subtle enough, be it bold enough. The deltas are great size. The black really helps. Looks wonderful. The female cut, women look great in it. Sorry, they do. Even fan films, women look great in it. There's something about it. Yes, the skirt's too short, but women look great in it, and that
it's not like they're wearing frilly panties underneath either. Their panties are the same color as the uniform.
Well, they're wearing shorts, aren't they? Normally.
Yeah.
But as Marie said, we watched Space Seed, part of Space Seed, and one of the yeomans was pouring a drink for Khan, and as she was bending, it's like that's it. It's at the ass level. That's all it took. One slight But then you don't bend much in Starfleet. I mean,
Do you watch any Star Trek, man?
20% lower. Both are iconic. Both are wonderful, and
Yeah.
they've held up stupidly well, considering. Go, Stuart!
Yep, I agree. They look really crisp, clean. I'm not a huge fan. I never was of the pants where they meet the boot, but they're kind of going for a Navy kind of military vibe with that, and that's fine. But I really do appreciate the stripes on the sleeves. I think that looks good. They do the different colors all look fantastic together. The pants should have pockets, in my opinion, but I think they're. And a lot of people make the joke that, like I said earlier, that they look like pajamas, and I don't see it. I don't think so at all. Like that's just people making fun of the '60s sci-fi look. Those people that wore pajamas. It's like no. It's fine. It actually looks like a very good uniform. Problem is, I love when you watch the show and you can tell the more they washed them, the more they shrunk. Because sometimes Kirk's is quite, the sleeves get short and it's just kind of funny. And you can tell when they get new ones. As for the ladies, I love the cut of that collar. I think that's really nice. And it's part of its time with the 60s, the mini skirts. But I think it's fantastic. Like Samuel said, it looks fantastic. It makes the women look amazing. And yeah, I have no problem with it. The high boots are really nice as well. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know I'm obviously biased. I know I can't see everything, but I don't think they look like pajamas. The TOS ones, they're too clingy tight for that. Mm-hmm. They're a nice fabric and they cling. They're not loose and they're a good. I mean, a good like. Neymour's not like he's wearing loose pajamas. Pajamas are loose. They're comfortable. This is not, and I've worn these many a time. They're not the most comfortable thing in the world because they are. They're a bit more. There you go. Sometimes.
Well, they always wear black undershirts under them too.
Yeah.
So, it's part of the uniform, I guess. Mm-hmm. So,
for me, I will say TOS should be the S. Is iconic, and I'll give TOS woman a B, because it's longer skirt. That's a flaw, right?
I will give the TOS uniform an S as well because it started it all. It is the classic Starfleet look. Mm-hmm. I want to put the female one in the S tier as well because it's all part of the same package.
That's up to you guys then. Super chat your thoughts. Put it, Stuart, back on the screen to show you. This is now where you guys have to control this live stream. Super chat.
Tell us where this one belongs, between S or A.
Or B, if you agree with B. I do know what you mean, but it's up to the people, right? They have the power. And this could be any super chat now. This is just to have some fun.
Both S from Stuart Perry. Stuart knows what's up because Stuart's a good name.
What do you think that if it's spelled the different Stuart though? Is it only your spelling?
No, then he's the most evil form of human being. Okay. Detestable. Look, S.
But you're not B. These are the super chats, guys. Though we're getting a sense of people, but super chat equals the decider. So let's look at the poll then. While you guys are super chatting, where you want to place. Is this uniform your favourite? We have currently an interesting set of numbers. 51% of 95 people say First Contact is their favourite at 51%. Voyager 23%. TNG 11%. And TOS is a very low 16%. Oh no, 11. TOS is third, so then TNG is 11. Fascinating. It's funny because the First Contact is just a lacking colour version of Voyager. Keep voting though, guys. We're going to get at least 100 votes on that.
We're getting a lot of S's, some A's. We said split the difference and put it in A. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm ready to do that. But if someone super chats in, they get to place it. So
we want you guys to have power here.
The power.
And it'll be very interesting now, as we can obviously jump into then the other TOS-esque uniforms from the other TOS-esque version eras. See how high or low they are, because ostensibly they're all the same thing, and yet they're all really, really not the same thing. Although I didn't include female versions for those because I don't even know what how, I can't necessarily visualize.
Well, you did for Strange New Worlds, so.
Well, that's a very distinct uniform though.
Yeah.
I can't visualize the female JJ, so it's just longer TOS, etc.
Yeah, that's a good question. Did we put scants on the list? I don't think we did.
Was it
Oh
standard?
man, we should have. They were an option.
They were an option.
Because I'd put the scant firmly at an F right away.
Well, Brett, if you're listening and you wanna add a quick scant, but we have a super chat, which means that person is deciding. Unless someone else wants to jump in, because it's up to you guys.
Shea Locomotive Productions puts in $2. Meet in the middle with an A. I was gonna concede and put it in A, but I think it deserves higher. But that's okay.
Well, the chat has decided.
The chat has spoken.
Oh, the power of the chat. Ah, have fun with this one.
Which one's next? Do you want to go Kelvin or do you want to go?
Oh no,
Disco.
You go Disco. I'll go Kelvin. We both get an event.
Oh Jesus Christ! All right. Thank you for that, Sam. All right. So here we have the Disco Enterprise Season 2 Captain Pike uniform. All right. Asymmetrical collar is absolute trash and should never have been a thing. Who thought that was a good idea? I don't know why. If it wasn't an asymmetrical collar, it wouldn't be as bad. However, there are still deltas everywhere. It feels much more pieced together, not like a one or two piece thing. It's very much, there's seams and lines everywhere. I do like the shininess of the rank insignia though. Pants are pants, they're fine. But they tried after everyone complained about the Discovery uniforms. They tried to be like, here you go. But the asymmetrical collar just ruins any chance this had of being higher in my list. I'm not going to say where I want to put it right now, but yeah, that's kind of where I am with that. And the pleats or the deltas on the shoulders, never understood why they did that. They did it with their Monster Maroon too, which we'll get to, and it's a bad decision. It just makes it look like it's wet all the time. It's an odd thing to do. But sure, we got to put deltas everywhere on everything, and cosplayers be damned. So, yeah, that's where I am.
And Trekyards says, the cage is so similar to the TOS, yet so low along with the Disco Circus conductor uniform. Well, if there's only 5 elements to a uniform, and they're all different, then you can judge the differences, and the differences make it that much worse.
Yeah, it's a little bit too pulled out of your grandfather's closet sweater.
All the things put together,
Yeah.
Discovery Enterprise. This is the first one to make me mad. In the lineup
I remember
so
when
far.
you were so mad. I remember.
Yeah, because it is literally just the Discovery uniform they got and made the top gold, blue, and red. That's it, right? That's the only difference. Every other part's the same. And this doesn't represent it in the picture, but even the cutouts, the deltas, they're all there, just not the thing. The material looks terrible relative. It looks much worse than Discovery in that color, the bright color. The collar is horrendous. It's overly busy and complicated with detailing. It's just a much, much worse, cheaper, sillier looking TOS that just doesn't work. And again, we have so many versions in this lineup that are a top with trousers, and instinctively this is like the worst of the batch just from first impression, because it just looks, it hasn't got that vibe. It's got an opposite vibe, and I'm so obviously glad they removed it. There's the one moment where Ethan Peck as Spock wears it in the final episode, and it looks terrible on him. He looks like a child. It badly fits him, and the colour's bad. It makes him look like it was worrying how bad that was. And then we get the proper one in Strange World. So I am going to go out on a limb and say F. It's the first one that pisses me off because it actively hurts a uniform, and I didn't feel this way about the Kelvin. I do feel this way about this one. It might not be enough quality, but in comparison and also feeling-wise and deliberate butchery, I'm going to quote a very high F. What do you think? Bold, I know.
I was debating between D and F, but I was thinking F for the asymmetrical color alone. Plus, let's not forget the boots, the big delted up boots, which are unnecessary. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. The first one being an F. First F.
And look, Discovery 2 higher, so it ain't Discovery hate.
Yeah, we're gonna get that comment for sure.
Because look, C, and Kelvin is a B.
And Will Skilton says, "Are we skipping Kirk's green low-cut top with asymmetrical color?" Yes, because that is a captain's variant.
Yes.
It seems to be exclusive to captains, so it's not
specialist uniform.
We will get into. Well, we'll have a tier list of specialist uniforms, including all the admirals, the captain's variants, stuff like that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
This is just the standard crew outfits. So,
yes.
Yeah.
All right, now to punch me in the gut. In the gut.
Okay, hold on.
Yes. The JJ.
The JJ love. Here it comes. Boom, baby.
So I know they're a little bit different, but I couldn't find reference for how they're different between 09 and Darkness. But I thought they're different, but I couldn't find. Anyway, so this is the 09 one, but kind of. They fit poorly. They're much looser. The fabric feels thinner, and weird. Obviously, it's patterned and textured, but it doesn't add the detail. It makes it messy looking. The silver there is obnoxious. It reflects. Why the hell do you have reflective? Like, comm badges don't reflect light because they're painted resin in kind of matte colours. It's obnoxious when a cosplayer wears a metal comm badge because they walk through a situation where the silver becomes harsh white and the gold gets brighter. That's not how they ever were. These are not reflective metals. So to have this be reflective is just a unnecessarity. And it's a worse detail. The trousers are fine, but they're just trousers. I mean, it's just, again, another worse TOS. Experience was designed 50 years later to do a worse uniform that looks, feels, sits, plays worse, is strange and shocking, and it's just a worse uniform again. Thoughts?
All the things you said. Plus, this has a metal delta, which is unnecessary. I mean, they saw comm badges, and like everything has to be metal now, even Discovery. It's like, no, in TOS they were embroidered. They looked good.
They metal now?
They metal now. They meddle with the design of the goddamn uniforms and badges.
Badge would have words with you.
Before we continue, though, Sergeant Montgomery throws in $2. Delta, an era when only the Enterprise wore it. And he also throws in another $2.
Thank you.
F for all disco uniforms in my opinion. No, we're not going to do that. That's not quite fair. Yeah, this one just feels lazier. Well, I don't like the thick pleat that they have, or the line that they have there, and also the fabric, the patterning on it is just it's odd. It's an odd choice. So this one's obviously not going to be high as S. I'm going to put this one for me at a C.
I would say D because I like it less than the cage.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
I'll give it a high D, but it's worse than the cage for me. So,
well, with the way this is laid out, we can actually do this on this one. Since it's a high D, we'll put it on this side of the D.
Ooh. Oh, I love it. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that works for me.
It bites in the butt very quickly, but I like it. Okay. All right. Then, ironically, Stuart, we're going to jump into the victory lap of what we just talked about. The Stranger Worlds variant and the Beyond variant. Well, and the women's, but...
so you want to do Stranger Worlds first?
Yeah, Stranger Worlds first.
Okay, and this is me, yeah?
Yes. We can throw both up and we can do back to back if you want, because it's a similar...
All right.
Dual era.
All right, hold on. I just got to get the other one over here. Unfortunately, my screen's a little zoomed in, so it's more difficult.
Guys, your thoughts, comments, 111 people joined us. Welcome back to 2024, guys. Vote in the poll, super chat your thoughts, and yeah, join us tomorrow, the next day, for this sort of fun on Trekyards. We're good to see you all here.
All right, so I'm talking about the Stranger Worlds one.
Oh,
first,
no, I
guess.
meant the ladies' version of Stranger Worlds. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
You done screwed me up there, boy.
Oh dear.
All right, so
yeah,
here we go. Strange New Worlds, female. There we go. And I'm doing this right first. Yeah, much better. They learned from the Kelvin universe. They learned from their season 2 debacle. Much more in line with TOS. Now they are doing something I kind of like, which I didn't like at first, but I like it now because it's a step between the cage and TOS. So the black collared or the black trim collar is not as prominent. It's actually an undershirt, but it's still there. It's that evolution from the cage, which is just the turtleneck vibe, to the black collars that they have in TOS. So I like that now. The colors of the rank insignias are good. Pants and boots are just fine. They're always kind of just fine, and they look good on camera. They feel like they're comfortable, or they look like they're comfortable, and they kind of feel like a predecessor to TOS, which is great. The female ones are more. Actually, the female one that we have here reminds me very much of Star Trek Online, like the first poster we got from Star Trek Online with the Vulcan woman, that kind of uniform. It's even got the black on the sides. And again, I mean, it's great. It's still a dress. It's still technically a mini dress. There's just pants underneath, or trousers, if you will. And I think it's a nice option to maintain the look of TOS, still be leading into TOS, but be a little more, in line with PC culture, I guess. Plus the zipper is nice too on that one, so you can kind of, sometimes it's up higher, sometimes it's a little lower. It's nice variation. I think the Strange New Worlds is doing it pretty good, and even there's other, like there's Uhura's uniform, which is a little bit different as well, but still keeping very much in feel with the TOS, and no asymmetrical collar, none of that bullshit that we got in Discovery season 2. So yeah, this is better for sure, and better than the Kelvin ones, just because of the material and the overall appearance of it. So
now it does help that Ethan and Anson are kind of well built, so they fill them out very well, which does help, because abstractly this concept art, it looks somewhat plain, but you put them on the actors and they rock them, I would say. Smart, neat. The metal on the bands doesn't bother me so much. Combat looks nice. The black, I certainly agree. I hope it gets evolved into a fuller black TOS in coming seasons. Very easy to do. Hopefully they do it. They look great in them. I mean, this is a modernized TOS with a slice of Discovery. And certainly the Strange Worlds female is quite a departure aesthetically, but because it is now a whole different uniform. It's not just now a skirt, but you know where it's coming from. It feels more as on par with the male uniform, but of course it has its own identity, because maybe not make everything uniform. Although we do see Rebecca Romaine wearing a standard uniform too, so she does have a choice of either both, neither. Well, neither would be naked. That's not an option. It's not a Bezos wedding after all. Both are strong. The Stranger Worlds is a little bit, the females maybe a little bit too far away from the original. It'd be nice to have seen, because we see Uhura wear a TOS-esque one in the alternate universe one, I believe, and that was nice. When she was promoted, then that was the future. That was like, oh look, you're wearing a dress. This is not that. That's fine. These one was looking at today. For me, gut reaction, I'll say the male as a lower A, and female a B.
High B.
High B.
Yep, that's kind of what I was thinking.
It's my favorite uniform, the female, but it's a smart uniform. So I'm like, that's, personal preference is important, but understanding it still looks smart. They look good in it. It suits them. It suits the era. You can tell they're trying to make it modernized, but like that all factors into my decision making. It's not just whatever. And that's amazing. It went from a C to an S to an F to a D to a B. Like the TOS styling, that's pretty broad. But then speaking of, Stuart, the Star Trek Beyond uniform. This one, I really like. Legitimately really like it. I think Kirk looks great in it. I think Spock looks great in it. I like the weird collar, which goes higher but with the black. It's actually an undershirt, but in the cosplay versions, it's one piece. The fabric is phenomenal. I love the fabric. It's heavier. It's denser. We've fucked up right off the deltas, and I love it. It's so much. It looks expensive and luxurious. Yeah. Don't love the armbands, but they're so infrequently used. Whatever. The trousers are nice. It's a very, very small iteration from TOS, but it has a smartness that modern fabrics give it that TOS doesn't have. I really like this one. We wished for more after Beyond. We were together at that point and talking like, yeah, please use them again, make more. I really like it.
No, I'm right there with you on all that, because I was just as you said, the bands don't bother me as much, or you can't. I was thinking the exact same thing. They should have done this from the beginning. The higher collar I kind of like as well. It kind of has a TNG vibe almost, if they had split the front, which they didn't, which is fine. But yeah, they feel like a movie version of a TOS uniform, and that's, I think, what really sold me on it. So yeah, for that reason, I would definitely put this as an A.
I think I'm leaning on A as well. I think yeah, it's very smart. Do I wish we've discussed, and at the time, that they should just have done the new Strange Worlds uniforms in this fabric. I think that would have been lovely, because they just feel more organic materially, which does make a difference. Strange Worlds has a more synthetic industrial vibe, cool in its own way. This has a much more TOS aesthetic vibe. I just wish they'd change these around. And I have one. It's the only one I have of the JJ, and I look good in it, and it looks good on me, and I'm happy.
And that's what's important.
Well, I look quite good in it. So I'm gonna
listen to him.
Yeah. Now, speaking of, you get the next one, Stuart, in chronological order. What fun!
The motion picture. Now this actually looks good. The concept art, or the art piece, looks good.
Ain't no bulge in the concept art.
Well, this is actually, yeah. I do like Admiral Kirk's uniform very much in that movie, and that's what kind of this is style-wise.
Yeah, this is misleading because you can see a seam line or a line of two-piece. It's not, it's a one-piece, so it looks worse than that. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But these are all meant to be the same image, so.
Obi-Wan, though, $20. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Great breakdown of the uniforms. Enterprise and First Contact are my favorites. Nice. We'll get there.
You're a very lucky man in 2001 to 2005, then. All on the same era.
I do like the TMP Admiral's uniform, as I said. The other one's not so much. You get, again, very pajama vibe to them. There's a lack of color. There's a lack of any kind of contrast. I do like the legs. The way that it's cut at the front of the boot. I do kind of like that. Belt buckle is weird. It's because it's like, yeah.
It's a tricorder scan heart monitor thing. It's a piece of tech.
Yeah, I know.
So never use.
Yeah, they feel a little too PJs to me. God damn, is that a word? I don't even know. It was a nice, hey, this is the next thing, but it just did not work. The colors were gross. The colors just did not. No. Thank God they learned.
And quickly, too. Guys, 137 votes on the poll is phenomenal. Let's get 140 and we can do another poll and see if we can find some audience vote for best. 117 watching. Click like.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I was going to say, and hit like. We need 6 more likes to get to 100, and we have 117 people. So make sure you're subscribed. Do all the things. Hit the like button.
And join us for the next 2 days of lives. We have, and these might be the same 3 lives we do every week, depending on you guys' interest and working with us. There's a few more fun ones in the lineup. We always have fun with these. And as we said, you guys can help determine the order. Because you can tell us, you think Discovery should be a B. And we're like, okay. Sir, you have super chatted to victory. Therefore, You have power here. Okay, so this one, I just watched TMP with Marie. So I have that bulge is right in my brain. Okay?
Yeah, the bulge. I was gonna.
She noticed it. It's 2 seconds and she saw it and noticed it and commented on it.
Did it deck her in the face?
Yes.
Decker's decked her in the face.
But only at the commander level. We had to demote the deck.
Decker's pecker decked her in the face.
What's bizarre is that in the movie, in 4K remastered, they don't look cheap.
No, I'm sure they weren't.
Which is odd because there's nothing to them. Yet they don't feel cheap. They feel boring as all hell, but they don't feel cheap. They should feel cheap, but they're not. But I think they are not a uniform, really. They're not even jumpsuit. They're, as you say, a one-piece colour with a thing and a thing, a belt buckle thing. There's nothing going for them, except they don't look cheap and they don't look bad in the movie. Except from a technical perspective, there's no artistry there. There's no Star Trek there. There's no link. I think they do have braids. They do have braids.
Yes, they do.
That's the only thing. So I think huge misstep, and I don't know why they even designed them. Maybe they ran out of budget because there's no design work really. I mean, and they don't even look good in them. Like none of the actors I can think they look good in that. It's like no, they didn't.
Except for Admiral Kirk's.
But that's
the uniform. The two-tone really helped.
Entirely different uniform. It's cut differently. It's designed differently. That phenomenal. If it all been that, cool. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's an F, just because it's a very bad uniform. It looks good on nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Rabao looked good in his, and JJ, it wasn't angrily. I think it just looks not good at any place in the film.
I was thinking D, like low D, but I'm happy to go F because, yeah, it didn't last long for a reason.
Yeah.
And there was just no pop to it, unfortunately.
I will say that one of our cast in Trek Shorts has worn the Admiral's version for a film, which was Surreal as All Hell. Looked great. Really popped on screen. I was very happy with it.
Yeah.
Now, I am open to, like I said, super chats for raising this because I just think in this comparative analysis, I want to be very fair. I feel like it's a bad uniform in this ranking. Because it's not even it's barely clothes, right? Let me know what you guys think. Super chat, you can raise it, you can't lower it, but if you want double F it...
I can't lower it. You can get it right off the goddamn board.
Well, maybe. But guys, 145 votes, let's finish off this poll. Is this uniform your favourite? The winner with a striking majority is the First Contact. Grey Shoulders with 48%. We've now... everything is now close together. So close second, third, and fourth. Voyager 19%, TNG 60, TOS 17%, and TNG is 16%. So people have opinions, and then some people have some opinions. Very
Shea
interesting.
Locomotive Productions super chats in $2 and says the motion picture is D. I have spoken.
See, I've been overruled.
We'll bump it up. I'm hesitant to do so, but I was thinking D initially, so...
A low D.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
The super chat has spoken like the great koala.
I was going to say it's better than the Kelvin one, but it's not, because they both give off pajama vibes to me. Minus the belt buckle, of course. That would be uncomfortable. But... yeah, so guys, hit that like button. We're at 99. We're almost at 100. We have 126 people watching, which is great. Thank you guys for watching. Show your support. Hit that like button. Super chat in. You can shift things a little bit if you feel the need. And we want to hear from you guys. So please comment. Please have a discussion in the chat. And consider joining the channel. We've already had Ozzy, who's Federation Council member, join. So that's awesome. Thank you, Ozzy. And we have a new Fleet video coming out soon because we had a few new people on Patreon and stuff. So if you want to get in on the new Fleet video, click that join button and look at your options.
New poll, Stuart. Your chance to vote.
Yes, there is a new poll. Is this uniform your favorite? The Wrath of Khan, Lower Decks, Discovery Season 4, Discovery Seasons 1 and 2. Interesting. Go vote on the poll. All right. So now is time. They learned from their mistakes.
So glad you got this one, Stuart. So glad you got this one.
Right? Nicholas Meyer came in and we got the Monster Maroon, or more affectionately known, the Magnificent Maroon. This is very militaristic, which is kind of anti-Starfleet, but it's Napoleonic in its design almost. But it looks fantastic. It's got the accoutrements. It's got the rank on the shoulder thing, which is great. The flap is fantastic. Way to cool off and still be like look formal. You have the turtleneck underneath, so even if you do lose the tunic, you still, you know, the turtleneck still looks good. The new badge is fantastic. The belt really makes it. The pants stand out with that stripe down the side, and I also love the wrist years of service thing. So you can kind of get a feel for how much shit you're in by who's approaching you. How long have they been in the service? And oh shit. So they just pop, and they're such a rich, beautiful color. It's very, very uniform. Everybody has them. The only thing that's different is the undershirts. You get like a minty green for medical. You get like a orangey kind of color for engineering. And so I like that. That's a nice little subtle thing, and still looks very uniform. Way more uniform than TOS with all the different division colors. It's same cut, same style, but if you went to do a speech and everybody was lined up in the shuttle bay, all you'd see is a sea of maroon, which would be the very definition of what uniform is. And it's just the stellarest, best uniform ever.
It's also the least practical uniform of this entire lot.
That's true. I
own one. They suck to put on because you might not realise they're very hot, but that's space fabric. It's a jacket that you have to both clip here, and then clip, and then clip every single button, and then do the top clip, and then do on the belt, and make sure it's in the middle. So if you have to take it off, you have to flap, click, 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 undo the belt, take it off, take out the. It's a whole thing. These, they bash on the table because, of course, they're where you're typing. Now, of course, in the future we do this, but if you're working at a desk, it's a poorly placed placement for the, you know, so impractical for modern day. I say hot, and the least Star Trek looking because it's military. It's not Star Trek looking. Now, of course, it is Star Trek looking because it's the most used uniform, but my dad hates it because it looks military. Not Star Trek, military. Smart as fuck, but super unique in its own way. And certainly looks like a Navy uniform, but of course it was the most used uniform, therefore it was the most Star Trek. Also a bitch to collect because each piece is like $100.
Yeah, crazy.
And I love the red stripe on the trousers. Waist, nonsensical, right? No reason for that at all, but it looks great. And you feel cool having a stripe on your leg. And they're just comfy trousers. They're just like slightly, like they're super basic comfy trousers. They're not formal, they're not, they're literally Walmart sweatpants in black. It's literally what they're meant to be. Crazy.
And tell me you don't feel like when you put that on though and walk out and people are like see you feel like your chest goes out further, your shoulders
so
go
much
back,
fabric, Stuart. Everything goes out further.
Do you know what I mean though?
Yeah.
You feel that sense of like, yeah, this looks good.
Well, it has the most wonderfully designedness to it so far. The belt is phenomenal. The way it works. If the delta had been smaller than the belt, it would have not worked. If it had been filled in, no. The new delta is beautiful. Everything's been beautifully designed, and even the oddity of having the neck ribbed for no reason whatsoever. There you go. No reason. There's nothing for anybody except cool. Right? So it's a weird one of it's movie. It's not practical.
Yeah.
But it's cool. But it's expensive.
But it's
I mean, obviously it's an S, Stuart, because it's definitively cool. And you can't help but appreciating Star Trek 6, 3, Wrath of Khan. It's the one of those movies, and they're some of the best Trek ever made. So obviously it obviously it goes up there.
Yeah. Obi-Wan throws in $10.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, Star Trek II uniform blew my mind when it came out. Love it, even if it sucks to have on. LOL. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now, unfortunately, it's weird because this next one is the Strange New Worlds Monster Maroon, which this is.
Oh.
Yeah. This is not a good representation of it because this is the concept art, and this looks phenomenal.
Because it's the same as the Monster Maroon Stuart, basically.
However, on screen, we got a lower cut for the front flap and a lazy-looking shoulder strap. We liked it when we first saw it, and then the more we looked at it, the more we disliked it. You got the shiny material on the top, makes it look like it just came in from a rainstorm. You've got the super shiny stripe on the leg, which just looks cheap. It looks like costume material. It doesn't feel like a uniform. This one looks great because this is the concept art. This is how it's supposed to look. And Sam's just thinking, yeah. When we first saw it, we went, wow, that's cool. And yeah, it's one of those anomalies. The more you look, the more you're like, yeah, ranking this one will be interesting, but I want to hear your thoughts on it. Because other than that, they got everything right. The badge, the captain's bars.
It's as if they said, let's take perfection and break it. And guess what they did?
Let's take perfection and sell it from Wish.
Yeah, it feels like Anton looks good in it, but the things they changed, each element makes it look significantly worse. Combined, It looks cheaper. Like I said, very much like a Chinese cosplay. They did their own thing to branch from licensing. Having the line go down twice as far, and it looks awful. So unbalanced. The shoulder being wet feeling is horrible to look at. It's like they could have. They had a real Rathacon on set to reference from. Just put him in that, and not physically that, but like put him in just make a replica.
Didn't the shiny one go all the way down the arm too?
Yeah, it goes down like to here. It's awful. Like the stuff they kept of Rathacon was great, but everything else looks much worse.
Yeah,
and it's sad because it takes what could have been an even more incredible set of sequences and just it's like he doesn't look very good though, does he? And he looks much cheaper. And I'm sorry, Bernadette. I'm sorry, the team, but didn't need to be changed. It didn't need to be. It really didn't need to be. It stems from we want to do our own thing, but you made it worse in every single way. I'm really sorry. Even if you'd just, not done those things, it would have been great.
And now the thing that really kind of grinds my gears, in all fairness, is the fact that everyone owns one of these now.
Yeah.
And so you see them everywhere, and it's like that's.
But it only costs $50. They feel good.
I know you want a Monster Maroon, but it just irks me for some reason. It's just like, here we go.
It was also clear thinner fabric when Anson wore it, which is fine, but it loses all that heaviness. Yeah, it's like I argued about the Kelvin version. It's like it's the same thing but worse.
I've ranked it.
I like the Discovery one more probably. Like that.
What?
Because it just takes, like if they'd just done a Monster Maroon and changed all the deltas to be a new version delta, perfect. But you're hurting an icon. It looks less good. And I don't know. I don't feel about it in the same way.
So where do you want to put it? You want to put it a D?
Guys, you decide. Put it in the middle for a second. Let guys decide because it's a notably worse.
I've got it in C. I've got it in C. I like it more than Kelvin. I like it more than the motion picture. I like it more than the first Kelvin film.
Yes.
I like it just the same as Discovery, in my opinion. I think it's probably better than the Cage.
But these are different clarifications, right? It looks smarter because it's just a smarter piece, but the things about it are worse than the original, so it looks worse. Google answer out of the episode. Remind yourself what they actually look like for a second, because we're looking at another piece.
And yes, Jay, it was used in a scene from a possible future. Yes, this is correct. But it was still on screen.
Yeah. Kelvin's also a possible future in that it's oh well, that is not quickly Googleable.
No, it's not.
What
was the name of the episode? Something Mercy?
I don't know. Ugh. I mean, that stripe looks so. Ugh. See, that's. If you need a picture, I've got a picture.
Yeah, I'm having an issue.
Yeah,
just
I've
find
got
all these people that bought one and are wearing it.
Yeah, let me send you. Actually, the Delta is different. They've redesigned. I'm sorry, I'm not going to put this on the screen, but okay, I just sent you the.
Well, while you're doing that,
There you
Olivia
go.
Julius, $5. My 3 favorite is Voyager, Engineering, DS9 Engineering, and Enterprise uniforms. Why? They all have pockets. The one thing they all be missing. And Ford Trimotor, $2. Strange New Worlds, Wrath of Khan, high C tier. I think it deserves at least C, but hold on.
Okay.
Where'd you send it?
To Facebook. See, very different to the concept art. It does not reflect it very well. The Delta's different and it looks fine, but too big. The white strap is so bad, it's so distracting. There's a weird line between the ribbing and the jacket that makes it look unfitted. The black's weird thicker, and the thing goes all the way down to here, and it just makes him look as if he's been in a shower. Those are all distinctly worse elements. He does not look good in it.
And the way that the white comes down and angles in, it's still for me a C though, even looking at that. Because it's taking perfection and putting it out in a rainstorm and then putting it on.
I'm on the fence, guys. Please super chat your thoughts where it should be, C or D. He doesn't look good in it. Now, yes, it looks better than Rabao and TMP but well, did this actor look better in his Cage costume from that picture?
Yes.
Okay. We have seen him in Discovery uniform. He looks, I would say he looks better in Discovery uniform as well.
Yeah.
Guys, vote, because I'm right in the middle.
Olivia Julius, $2. What about the TNG scant? Well, that'll be in the alternates uniform when we do the tier list for that. So we got a C.
Guys, vote with the super chat. Any amount. Like, I'm right on the precipice.
I think C's fair. You're saying low C, and I'm fine with that as well, but it's still better than everything in D.
D's a wide berth of quality.
And I think Anson Mount looked better in it than he did in the season 2 one, in my opinion. That asymmetrical collar.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I would agree on that, yeah.
But doing what they did to the flap and the shoulder strap, that is the same as the asymmetrical collar, in my opinion.
Yep. And it's weird because as soon as you put it on, they should be like, oh, that doesn't look right. As soon as they put it on him, that doesn't bounce. It ruins the balance. Guys, please vote. Super chat your thought.
Oh, Ford Trimotor said a C, so he's super chatted in with a C.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. High C. Can we get one more to help decide?
We got a C, C. Okay, we got a C, C, C minus, B, C, 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 C minus. SK says it's D easily, no flares. I think it's fine where it is for now.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys agree on our reasoning.
But you know what I mean, Stuart.
I do know what you mean, but also I'm looking at it. I'm looking at what's in D, and I'm like,
yeah.
It still looks sharp. It still looks good. It just looks a little lazy. It's just not.
Yeah. We'll give you one last chance, guys. We'll move on to the next one. But if you want to move it, super chat anything to move it.
Oh, jeez. Well, you can super chat to move it. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the next one, which.
I'll jump on that one. Yay!
Oh, Jesus Christ! Here we go.
This was one just for you, Stu, which is funny I got it.
I know. Thanks.
So this is the very famous future version of the Rathacon era uniform. This is not from the Rathacon era. This is from the Enterprise C era, which of course also is the uniform that Patrick Stewart Picard wore for his entire Academy career and his first couple of ships. All of the TNG cast, of course, then wore this at the start of their career, and then as in those that were old enough, which isn't that many of them, I suppose. But those people. Now, what did they do, of course, Stuart? They grabbed the uniform off the rack and none of the extra stuff off the uniform off the rack because they forgot to didn't include the belt and not the undershirts. All it is the jacket part.
With the belt loop still in the back.
And that's what we see the entire Enterprise C cast use, and Crusher, I believe, in his one appearance as well as a hologram.
Yes. It's fucking lazy.
It shows how it's not natively a good uniform. It's when you assemble everything correctly, it's a good uniform.
Yes.
This does not look good. And I have obviously...
You would never think it wouldn't look good until you saw it like this. Because it's all the accoutrements that make it look fantastic.
Well, yeah, but having had I have one. Part of what makes the Rathacon good really is the belt. It splits up the colours. It brings in that waist, which is important. It gives you that parting vibe. This, it just sits on you. Because these are bigger uniforms. They're meant to have a bit of extra space.
Let me compare the two.
Yeah, I did Photoshop them out, so it's the same picture, but... Well, I guess I took Kirk stuff. So not having the taper feels weird because it's designed to have that. So it is a substantially worse uniform, and I will say, worse than Stranger Worlds version.
Yes. Yeah, this one's a D for me.
It's just removing 2 pieces. Insanity. That's yeah. Stuart, your thoughts?
This one's easily a D. And it's weird because it's the exact same one as an S tier, minus a belt and a turtleneck, but it looks lazy. And I see what they were doing. Like the TMP era, they kept them for so long, but then they tried to scale them down so people weren't sweating to death on the ship, I guess. So get rid of the undershirt. Belts, leathers, it's, faux pas. It's not a good thing to do these days because, even fake leather is bad. So we're not going to give you a belt. And then the next step, of course, is the TNG, right? So. Well,
no, the next step, Stuart, is they swap out the badge for the TNG Com badge. That's the next iteration after this.
Mm-hmm. S. Cage throws in 2 pounds. It looks like something a waiter would wear.
It's very strange. And I get they didn't want to invent a whole new uniform for one episode. I suppose they're already doing a variant for the main guys, and they did modify it. But they really should have. And I would have even accepted the TNG Season 1 uniforms with maybe the TWOC Delta. Do it that way around. The Deltas were the last things to swap. The uniforms went earlier. It'd be weird. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the laziness of it that just... If they had added something to it or modified it in some way, it could be higher tier for sure.
Yeah, a same belt or thinner belt with the TNG Delta.
And it's not like this is a one-off. Like you said, it was worn by Jack Crusher, it was worn by Picard, it was worn by...
They were consistent.
It was, Rachel Garrett and everybody on the Enterprise.
Tapestry. No, Tapestry is still... I think Tapestry they had the turtleneck still.
Tapestry, I think they did have the turtleneck. No, maybe I don't think they did actually.
No, they didn't. They had the belt still. Yeah. They lost.
They still had the belt.
Yeah, they had a white undershirt. They had a white shirt, so there was a little bit of white. It was visible, and belt. So they reinstated the belt after the C. No. Oh, I don't know. When is Tapestry? How old is Picard?
I think it would have been after the C.
I don't know.
Maybe only cadets or whatever could get the belt.
Belt privileges only for cadets. Because Tapestry was 23.69. The C was 23.44. So they put the belts back! And then they removed them again when Jack Crusher was an adult.
It was a personal preference thing. You could wear the belt or you couldn't.
Same with the underwear. Personal preference.
Yeah. Still, it's an F.
Amazing what little difference. Yeah.
Got 3 Monster Maroons on there, and it's the whole. It's from S to mid tier to low tier. It's really friggin' hilarious.
Love it. Okay, next.
Next up, we got this bad boy, which is the season 1/2 TNG.
Shall I jump on this one because I have personal experience with this one?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, people laugh about this one in the abstract because it's tighter. It feels tighter than season 3. It's a jumpsuit, but when you wear them and you've got a neck for it, I kind of like it. I kind of like the line. I like the overall jumpsuit vibe for this. It's always fun to see one of my actors lose the neckline and how that changes their entire vibe. It's a TNG uniform, but worse, obviously. But if we're looking at it as a piece of the legacy, gorgeous evolution from Wrath of Khan. The colour's bright, the black's bright, as in both things pop really well. The line, it adds another flow to it, which I appreciate. The boot cuts with the colour is fun. I like it. And if you've got a good physique and a neck, you can rock it. And I think I kind of rock this one. It grew on me a lot since I owned one, and I did a recent short where I wore one, and I was like, how can I justify myself wearing one in a fan film? That's how I did it, just to kind of see myself on screen with it. It grew on me a lot. It's just a worse TNG, but not bad. Your thoughts, Stuart? Wants to about the Superjet or the person?
Dragon Blade 79 has joined the channel at the rank of Lieutenant. So welcome aboard, Lieutenant. You'll be in the next set amazing. Of fleet videos coming out. So pay attention to what ship you're serving on. Yeah,
and guys, 135 of you joining the channel is such an essential way of helping us do what we do and keep going. These sorts of channel videos are for fun for you guys. Small super chats are great, but it's just for you to have fun, enjoy, and have content. So join the channel, support what we do here. Many live shows a week on many topics and reviews, and when the new shows come in, you guys know. But even that lowest tier join does genuinely help. Please, if you can, just like Dragon's Blade, amazing. Welcome.
All right, so these I liked when I first saw them when I was younger. It was a nice departure from TOS, but still similar enough. Swapping out the command colors with the red shirts. I mean, hey, that's a smart move. I didn't think they looked lazy until I saw season 3. Once I saw season 3 and saw how this same uniform can look better, I was like, okay, those other ones look bad in comparison. So I enjoyed them till I didn't. And we'll talk about the season 3 and beyond in a minute after I acknowledge Ian Hodge has also joined the channel. Welcome to the rank of ensign, sir. Welcome aboard. Again, you'll be in the fleet video. You'll be serving on a ship. So pay attention. Look for your name.
May Zing. Thank you so much. And hey, more ensigns, more fun.
Now, the thing, it's a one-piece thing, and I know it was hard on them, their backs and stuff like that. Very tight-fitting, very form-fitting. I do like the boot cut, though, to make that smooth leg, the way they have that V at the front, and it's also striped. That's a nice touch. This was also the era of the scant, by the way. I would probably wear a scant above this. No, I'm just kidding.
That's for Stuart Foley, Trekyards After Dark, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. Trekyards only fans. This one I want to give a C, just because if I hadn't seen season 3 and beyond, I would definitely give it like a B. I think comparing it to the later seasons, it to me looks a little lazy, so I want to give it a C.
But lazy is entirely the wrong word, though, because it wasn't lazy. It was hard-fought design. It's just not clicking. It's not lazy. They didn't remove anything.
But when you compare it to the ones that came later, it just looks lazy. That's what I'm saying.
Well, this thing looks worse. I wouldn't say lazy. I think there's actually more to this. In fact, TNG is lazy because they just add a collar and remove everything else. Like they take away more than they add.
But it looks so much better.
Indeed, 'cause it's cleverer. So for me, I like this more than the Enterprise era uniform, more than the Franklin, and more than the females one, and certainly more than Discovery and Stranger Worlds Pike. So that's what I'll say.
Okay.
So I would put it in B because I still think it is a TNG uniform, but slightly worse. And it's absolutely.
I'm willing to capitulate and do that. Yeah.
I prefer it to everything in C by a substantial margin, and personal preference, I prefer it to everything in B. Personal preference, but I do think it's less smart than everything in A. But I do prefer it to everything in B. Would be my preference.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I like the separation of the black and the color. I like that little pop, that little ridge there. It's a nice cut.
Yeah.
So.
And keep voting in the poll, guys. Keep voting in the poll.
All right. So next up, we've got the
same thing, but a collar and lack of lines.
Yeah, a collar and two-piece now.
True, this is the two-piece version. You are correct. There is obviously one-piece version.
Yeah.
This is the two-piece. Yes, good point.
Yes. The collar looks so much better. I know some people disagree with that, but I think it looks fantastic. I love the red pinstripe at the top. They've also removed the pinstriping from the legs, which... I mean, I'll put the other one up for comparison's sake. I think I actually like the pinstriping at the legs on the other one, but I'm happy they kind of got rid of it. But they still have the same cut for the boot, which I think is a fantastic idea to give that smooth look. You don't have it bunching up at the front of the foot there. This is the one we're most used to. We saw it for like 5 years, or math. I don't know. Well, we saw it for a lot of time, and I think the high collar and that little separation at the front just looks so good. It's fantastic, and the comm badge on top of it all just makes it that the gold and the silver on that color of like a wine or a burgundy color just pops
with that black outline as well. That's important.
Yes, it's less red than the first seasons. I think they changed the color. They darkened it a bit, or at least it might just be the fabric.
Yeah, fabric. Yeah, definitely fabric. It's
Yeah.
thicker fabric because they could be thicker because of the two-piece.
But it looks like a darker, richer maroon color. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I'd actually forgotten we're doing comparison to the two-piece. That does change it a little bit. It's funny because no one looks bad in this uniform. The two-piece, or just the TNG style, with the collar, with the red.
True.
Like, even that old guy with Crush at that one time, clearly, frail. Hair's pretty good. Pretty good in that blue. Like, all my cast look good in this. Every time I put them in it, it's really, really crisp.
It's that color. It's the black, the way that line is on the... and how high up it comes. Even if you have a bit of a gut, it hides it.
Oh, yes.
And it breaks it up. It breaks it up because of that peak.
Yeah.
It's not straight across. So it doesn't look like it's like doing this or the opposite.
It's kind of a magic uniform. Yeah, and the collar's not
Yeah.
too high, but it gives a stiffness to the vibe.
Yeah.
It is absolute gorge. Us. The thicker fabric did add a lot. It's far poofier. Especially Patrick Stewart, who's quite a thin guy. It sits a lot further from him, gives him a bit of a weight. It looks more comfortable. It is more comfortable, but it is obviously actually significantly more annoying because it does ride up. Because they have to be tight.
Yeah.
But anything like this, they instantly become less perfect. That's because they're quite high uniforms, and even with the insert pull of the Velcro, not the strap, whatever. Like, it's genuinely. I'll reiterate the story. My very first take as character in TNG uniform, my fan films. I went, press recorded, walked in front of frame, next to my dad, him in front of us. I called action, and then I instinctively did a Picard maneuver because it already undone itself in those 17 seconds. I was like, I did a real one. And you find yourself doing that on set because it does genuinely need that. So it's actually a less practical costume in that sense, whereas the Voyager, First Contact, TNG One Piece, never think about it. It's actually really easy, right? Weirdly, this is less practical, but it looks better. Obviously, it's an S. Stewart. Not even question it. It's so good, right? Everyone looks good in it. It's kind of amazing how well it makes people look. Top tier.
Will not disagree with that at all.
And I would have also said the One Piece TNG season 3 would also be an S tier for the record, because the vibe is the same, basically. Personally, I would have said that. Like Troy in the One Piece, Beverly in the One Piece, I think they both look as good. Personally, that's just me.
We have 138 people, which is amazing, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully you're enjoying the conversation and the discussion. But we have 122 likes. I think we can get those likes up higher. So hit that like button if you haven't already. I'd like to get to 150 if possible. So please contribute towards that.
We have 103 votes. So let's get up to 120 votes in the poll. There might be a winner in this poll. But, you know, help us work it out. Go for 120 votes. Keep voting. Yeah. Okay, where are we at next? Aha.
Well, next up is...
that's my turn, too. Aha.
You get to talk about this one first, and that's good, because this is your favorite.
Somewhat. So this, for me, feels just more sciencey. I don't know why. It feels a bit crisper. I'm sure it's due with the harder line. Close-up in camera, you do a close-up, you get a hard line. It just looks crisp. The undershirt is a bit odd. The fact that it goes purple to grey, it's a bit looser. If you have a proper quality one, properly fitted, it looks, you don't notice it, right? It just looks nice. It's quite comfortable. It's kind of weird to have something that high. It looks nice. But I love the shoulders. I love the little V, the cut-in. I think it looks really nice. Gives a lovely colour differential that you wouldn't necessarily think to add. But if you remove it, it looks worse, notably worse. And on Voyager, weirdly enough, the gold uniforms, they would actually wear the uniforms with that zipper line up to the colour line. But Command would wear it below the colour line to create more of a V. You don't notice until you have one and you're saying, why are they different? Because we have a screen used gold. A friend of mine has a screen used red. And he made our replicas based on the red. And the zipper stopped lower down. I said, why have you done that? That's not screen accurate. He said, it is. I've got one. I said, no, it's not. We've got one. Turns out they made them differently. Don't know why. And Tuvok always had it up to the line. I prefer it with a more deeper V. But obviously it's a zip. You can do it as low as you want, right? Designed to have additional holsters. That's all part of this one as they moved into proper the resin, the plastic holsters with the more heavy props because they were getting more refined, whatever. All designed in. There's inner elements to the costume, which you as well have because I did that for your one, that integrate well, bring you a nice waistline, hold the props. Beautiful. Everyone looks good in it. But it's harder to fit it than TNG. Because there's a bit more of a crisper, so more error. But I think when you look good in it, you look fantastic in it. And they all look good in it. All the Voyager cast, all TNG cast, they all look great in it.
Yeah, my views on this have changed. I really enjoy this one now. I do like the gray. The thing about the gray undershirt, though, is it looks like a very thin material, and it kind of looks sloppy in some scenes.
Yeah,
for certain like extras. I wish it was a little bit of a crisper kind of shirt underneath.
Voyager, they've perfected it. Early TNG, it looks worse. They
went for comfort because it's not going to be as hot as a lot of the other uniforms.
Yeah, sure.
So, but yeah, I do like the V, the way that goes down, and it's again, this hides body types because of it's all black, so you don't really notice. Black's a good color for hiding that kind of thing. That's why I wear black all the time. 'Cause I'm fat. But yeah, this one is an S tier for me. It's one that definitely holds up, and I can't wait to get mine tailored.
Yes, been a couple of years, Stuart.
It's been 5 minutes.
5 years. And John says, is it technically a grey purple or just a grey? He was never sure if they. No, they actually had a weirdly purple one in TNG, and they changed it to a grey later. I don't think the purple works, but it leaves quite quickly, so. Even though I've seen those episodes, I don't register it as being a purple, but it is. Grey moves in. All of Voyager's grey. I would say S, it as good as the rest, just for different reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And it's a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
It's all like one piece, so it's...
And there is a couple of two-piece versions. Picard wore one in Generations. Janeway wore one when she had to take half it off. Picard... Yeah, so there are variations if you need one, but I have seen two-piece ones and they just look a little bit, because you lose that pull-in of the middle of the jumpsuit, because if you have a jumpsuit, the waist height doesn't really matter. It is just it flows with your body shape, so the waist is movable. A two-piece, that has to be right where your actual waist is, and if it's not most of the time, so it looks disproportionate, versus the TNG where it thumps out deliberately in a way that hides where your waistline is. It just is. It's a different balance. The Voyager's meant to be sleeker, and it doesn't quite work as well. But this is the one piece, so.
Let's bring in our next S tier. I'm just going to jump right off and say that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That is the First Contact DS9. Black and gray. It's the same thing, just now they got ribbing on the top part, which is gray, and then the gray undershirt has been replaced by a colored undershirt, which is fantastic. I prefer this one to the Voyager style ones with the colored top. I prefer the gray with the colored shirt, personally. Did they change the cut of this one? I think they might have changed the cut a little bit on the sides. Not just from this picture, but from other things I remember.
Not really. I just think it's how they... Well, I mean, the shirt being much thicker is going to affect slightly the vibe, because obviously you're doubling the fabric. And often these would be an undershirt that was actually a piece that would connect underneath the genitals, because it doesn't ride up. So that would also change slightly how it fitted. But no, for the most...
it in S tier, but
oh, sorry,
we need to talk about it now.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a tricky one, because just like my dad says, it's more militaristic, right? Thank goodness the red or the colour pops so well, otherwise it would be far less interesting, because you're losing that Star Trek-y colourness that has privileged the last few uniforms. But but obviously you see a close-up, the neck is very prominent, so that pops. A cheap First Contact with just grey, I think, looks not good. But when you have a proper one where it's actually not ribbing, as weird as that sounds, it's actually a flat material with the lines are actually a thread that's been pushed in, so it's actually a line that goes in slightly, so it's like the reverse of ribbing, which makes it look like ribbing, but actually it's just sewn in slightly, and then there's an outer rib on the edge to give it some separation. But it looks like ribbing, it's actually the reverse. But it feels like it. But when you've got the actual textured material, it looks really nice and has a real texture to it. I mean, obviously I'll go S. I like it less than TNG and Voyager. Personal preference, it's less Star Trekian, but not by a lot. But I like the logic of it being a wartime uniform, because wartime equals dark. But also, people look really good in a good one. It's just really hard to get a good one, because of course it is. Yeah.
All right, the next two I'm going to bring in together.
Yes, I'm glad of both, because interesting, eh?
Yes.
So allowed to be different. So this is the Lower Decks style of uniform in its two configurations, the animated version and the live action version, which is notably different. The colours are all different. It's the more accurate, or the more classical, winey, darker, versus the popping saturation. The black is now a charcoaly colour, and significantly lower on the body. Even though you wouldn't think it is, it's like a third lower, so it gives them giant shoulders versus like crisp shoulders. And also there's no dip in the middle bit. So there's actually a lot of differences between the two. Your thoughts between the two, or in the general vibe?
I prefer the animated style to the live action personally. I like the line being up higher, or at least appear to be higher. I just hate that as you've said a few times, that the combat is so high and on the line. But I do like the line around the neck that goes down into like almost like a Monster Maroon style flap. I think that's a nice added touch. And I like the brighter red as opposed to the darker maroon for the era. Well, not for the era, but for the animatedness of it all. Yeah.
And just to the Thinking Cat, yes, the cage was in the lineup. It is in C. And Jamie, yes, those uniforms will be included because they're used so often. We want to include them. It's funny when both I did and someone else did a photoshopped version of the live action to match the animated with the richer, more realistic fabric, and it looked better than the one we saw. You quickly ignore the fact that it's different in the show, but side by side, it's kind of like, well, you had to change that, didn't you? And it's odd because they didn't have to change it, and they also it's not a different uniform, so they shouldn't have changed it. It's just the art team wanting to be different because they want to earn their paycheck. It's odd because, in my opinion, they made it worse. I'd love to have seen the correct, accurate version in Hero fabrics because I think it would look lovely. Mm-hmm. I would vote Lodex over it. There's something slightly messy about the Lodex uniform. The strap, the pull-up doesn't add anything, and in fact, it's not. They don't ever even use it properly. Like it's just we're trying.
Mariner uses it a lot.
Sorry.
Mariner uses it a lot. She has it open a lot.
Mariner, used to anyway. I think she's more formal now.
Yeah.
It just looks like let's just do Wrath of Khan because we like Wrath of Khan. There's no reason for that line to be there. Like it's a fun, it's a kind of fan amalgamation, which is of course what I'm sure it's going for, right? Or pulling all the eras together, but it loses the efficiency of everything it's trying to accommodate by doing all of them together. It's not bad, but it's worse than some of its parts because some of its parts are the best uniforms in Trek, right? I would say that probably I would give Lower Decks a medium B, the animated, and live action a high C. Just because I'm contrasting quality, I feel like they're not identical quality, so I've got to be judgmental on that.
I was going to give the animated one A, but what you just said, yeah, I'm happy with both those because I was going to put the live action one lower than it anyway. So, yeah.
Okay.
B and C is fine. Yep.
Because I think I would say I like it and Enterprise similar. They're both not my favorite, but they both work in their own way. But I wouldn't. It's funny. I do have both the live action and the animated fan Kozamart costumes, and I wore the Lodex animated once. I never worn it again. I don't like how I look in it. I don't like it. Doesn't suit me. I don't like it. The live action better, but the collar's shit. They didn't do a good collar. Should be thicker. So better, but not quite. So I don't want to use it, and that's a testament to. But it does work on the show. Just personal preference and quality, whatnot. And I've got to go back in 1 second, Stuart. So give me a second.
Okay. It's my chance to tell everybody hit that like button if you haven't already. We have 131 people with us and 131 likes. Can we get to 150 though? A lot of people came in after the fact. A lot of people hit the like and then left. So hit the like button if you haven't. Let's try to get it to closer to 150. We have 3 new members during this live, which is amazing. So thank you, Dragonblade79 and Ian Hodge. And also thank you to Ozzy. Ozzy joined a Federation Council member. Dragonblade is a lieutenant now in the fleet, and Ian is a ensign. So welcome to you guys. 3 new members during a live is fantastic. So we really appreciate that. But hit that like button if you haven't already. There you go. It went down to 130 for a second, like someone hit like again, which took the like away, and now it went up to 134. So that's awesome. Let's try to get closer to 150 if possible. So if you haven't hit it yet, please do so. Thirst Contact, who's been a member for 44 months at the rank of Commander. Thank you, Commander. So on the DS9 Voyager uniform, Samuel kept saying T and G instead of DS9. Well, that happens sometimes. It's the brain fart. It's fine. No one's perfect, except for Sam.
Except for Stuart. What? Who's perfect?
Oh, you were just pointing out a mistake you made.
Yay! Whoa! Thanks.
I was trying to give you a compliment by saying nobody's perfect except for you, because you were just coming back in. I thought you'd make you feel good, at least for 5 seconds.
Yay!
The Thinking Cat says, are you only doing Prime Universe as one of the few TOS outfits I have in full is the Mirror Universe Kirk outfit? I got a convention, but I need to shed 50 pounds to fit into it. Well, that'll be in an alternative uniforms one. Yeah, we're not doing Mirror Universe, but we did do Kelvin. We are doing Discovery, which is also its own universe, whether you want to think so or not. So, but yeah, we'll do an alternates like Captain, like Kirk's green wraparound and stuff as a separate tier list.
There's a part 2 for this, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So next up is Prodigy.
And yes, there is Emma's body that, there's no diagrams of this, so it's on my cast wearing our version.
Talk about it.
Me, okay. This one has grown on me a lot. Not just because of my personal connection with Prodigy now, and my, we had a day when all 4 of us wore this uniform, and it looked fucking good to have a gold, a red, and 2 reds and 2 blues. It was really, really fun, and I'm sure we'll have a similar day soon. They look good animated. They do. Confusing, I know, because they reuse the Janeway Admiral's body for every female, pretty much. So everyone has gold and not reds. But I've talked to producers. This is mostly how they intended it. and I really worked hard to iterate on getting the correct level of... Basically, it's TNG, but with a flat line. Well, it's basically Endgame, actually, which we'll get to later, but improved drastically. It's got the line flap with a white ribbing. The collar goes very, very high, almost to a choking point. Like, it's like here. It's very, very high. And the connection point is so tight. Because it's animated, they were built without esophaguses. So, whatever. And the arm lines are the same as Voyager, but significantly deeper down. Not a lot of differences, but I think it really harnesses the TNG vibe again in general, like that flowing energy. I really like the white ribbit. I really like the high collar and put the pips. I think it really pops. I like the line here. It for me works on lots of levels, and I really like it. I think it's a nice sort of future TNG costume. Personally, I really like it.
Looking at this picture, I'm not super stoked about it. I think the high collar might be bad for someone like me who doesn't have much of a neck. The white piping doesn't work for me, and also the longer cuts on the sleeves. I mean, I might change my mind if I wear one or I see one in person, but to me, they're just kind of okay. They're TNG-esque. That's all I gotta say.
Do you prefer this or the Lower Decks animated?
Lower Decks animated.
Okay. I prefer this to Lower Decks animated, personally.
Okay.
It looks cleaner. There's too much going on for the... Because like the ribbing on the Lower Decks, like, it's a line of the shoulders. Why is it there? Aesthetics. The line of the ribbing is because that's where the uniform pulls apart. It has a structural element. There's a logic behind it. I want to put this at B. Personally, I think it's far better than C. Personally, I prefer it to Enterprise. Prefer it to Stranger Worlds, Lady, but obviously a man's uniform. It's grown on me a lot. I think it's good. I think it's a happy B.
I'll put it in B because I was going to say C, but I don't have any kind of personal investment in it. So,
I mean, you must prefer it to Cage, surely. That looks so much more Star Trek and neat. Surely.
Well, looks like it's a little baggy-esque on Emma.
That's because we haven't tailored anything, because that costs triple.
I know, but
yeah, I don't do my
I'll trust your instincts and put it with a B, but
yeah, I think you'll really enjoy seeing it in our films. I think everyone looks pretty good in it, and like I said, we couldn't really tailor it. Marcus is the only one that's really tailored because he's much bigger than everyone else. He had to be bigger, and my one fits me better, of course. Yeah, I've really grown on me.
Like a fungus.
Probably.
All right, so we got Picard flashback next. 2385.
Go for it, Stuart.
This one I have conflicting feelings about. I hate the sleeves. I hate the way those things go up on the sleeves. I kind of like the double stripe. I'm kind of off and on with the double stripe, actually. I remember talking about this at the time. I really love the way this looks, this picture of it, but I know that the uniform in person, not as big a fan as it looks here. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
This uniform annoys me to no end, because if this had been the season 1 Picard uniform, Bosch win. It's designed. It's far more creative than what they come up with, which is just the Voyager but worse. Much worse. This is has a personality. I really like the slice. It's weird, but it's design. It's a design, right? It's like, why had a strap? Why do I think it's design? I quite like it. What annoys me about this uniform, every motherfucker I put in it looks great. My granddad looked phenomenal in it. My 89-year-old granddad with an ill-fitting looked like everybody looks good in it because it's really really good for your shoulder. It really sharpens out your vibe. And you form the cheap ones we get. Obviously, we've improved them slightly, but they're very stretchy, but also quite tight. So whatever body type you have, it works with it for whatever reason. Nim looks really good in it. I look quite good in it. I'm quite thin. Marcus looks very good in it. Everybody, it annoys me because it's such a it's meant to be as they're doing in Prodigy. It's meant to be a specific uniform, specific fleet, and not the overall fleet. Because of course, it's the wrong combat for the era. Because it's Prodigy uniform. Like it's a weird uniform, but everyone looks good in it, so I want to use it more. But it looks weird. It's really sharp. And I do like it more than Prodigy because it's sharp, but also I like wearing this Prodigy more because I feel more at home with it. I kind of want to give it a low A because it looks so good on so many people.
I'm fine with that. I like the sharpness of the double striping and stuff. I just can't stand the sleeves.
And also the collar is collar's just enough here to have pips, but then you have a little dip here which kind of looks good.
Yeah.
It annoys me.
I like the collar. I'm happy to put it an A.
It bugs me.
Please annoy me, or please understand that those sleeves annoy the shit out of me. Yep. The way they're cut is just.
And in fact, Nick Cook has sworn to me that he'll make a proper version with proper fabrics, which will be heavier than the fan versions. But the fan versions, he says they get them wrong, and so trust him. The proper ones will look better because they're fitted better because they're it's subtle, but he says they look better if you do it properly. I have an example of where is my granddad picture, or my cousin's picture, because they both look good in it and they've never worn a uniform before in their lives. Okay, ignore the fact he's still wearing his dress shirt because he wouldn't take it off.
I've seen this picture already.
Have you?
You posted it, didn't
you?
My
dad did.
Yeah.
Okay. Ignore the fact that he's got a dress shirt on because he wouldn't take it off. Like, 89-year-old.
Yeah, that looks good.
Looks pretty sharp. Again, take out his dress shirt. Like.
Yeah, I can't see his sleeves. So.
Like, it's weird because we have good shoulder pads. And yeah, annoyed A, but I've got to be true.
Yep. All right. So next up is Endgame. All right. I like how high the black goes on this one, but I hate the black stripe. It's very reminiscent of All Good Things Beverly Crusher.
Well, it's the same uniform.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And I hate that. It just looks lazy to me. I wish they would have differentiated the color a little bit, even if they darkened the red a little bit above that, done something, anything, I think would have helped. Plus, the collar, there's really no collar on it, and it just, like I said, it feels like pajamas. This looks like it's from Star Trek Online, and it feels nice and crisp and how it should look. But it did not look like this on Beverly Crusher. I don't know how well it translates into actual fabric. This looks good. I kind of like this, but that black line and no difference above the black line is bothersome to me. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I don't got much.
It's so damn variable. It's been so many episodes and always looks and feels different. If it suits you, you look decent. Janeway.
It looked like crap on Kim.
Yes, it did. But on Nog, and on Janeway, it was fitted well. It looked better. Not amazing, but better.
Better, yes. I'll give you that.
So it's very variable. I like the concept of the uniform, which is that kind of generalness of we're in the future, we're more TOSian, but not. But for me, the Prodigy, which is the same rough cut, and you can see the points going on lower. Like a lot of things are Prodigy. Prodigy looks much nicer. I'm happy to give this a low C because I do prefer it to the stuff in D, but I might be convinced depending on what you want to say here.
It's a D. It looks like pajamas. That's the pajama bracket.
Pajama armor.
I don't know. I think I want to give this a D. I've never liked this. I said that at the beginning of this live. The All Good Things uniform just looks not great. So I want to say D. I'm happy to say a high D because it's better than Kelvin. Barely, because Kelvin's pretty much the exact same thing. The stripe on that also bothers me.
That is interesting. Oh, wow. They're so similar.
Yeah, they are. So I think they deserve the same bracket.
Why did the design of the Kelvin steal Endgame?
Here, I'll pull the Endgame one in, or the Kelvin one in for comparison. The pants obviously make the Kelvin one look worse.
Yeah, the fact that it's blend black. I mean, higher is weird. It's so damn high. It's like you're an 80-year-old, like, I'm here, laddie. But there's something kind of crisp about that little red, because TNG is very high, but it's different.
The black on the this one goes high too.
Well,
considering it's not the same.
Better.
It's not pants. It's not a separate part, so it works better.
I mean, it is for some actors, but you can't tell because it blends well.
That's why I want to say high D, because it's better than the Kelvin one for me. But
okay,
it's too
guys,
much like it.
I am content with a D. Is anybody out there willing to super chat to a C? I'm not begging. No. I'm saying
a lot of people are saying meh. I'm gonna put it a D. If anybody wants to super chat and change it, you can.
We can see it if you, fine audience, believe to see it. And to see it is to believe it.
Got a D. We even got an F.
Oh,
from Ian Hodge, and he's our new ensign.
Welcome, ensign.
He's already fighting back against the captain in command. Well, that might prove really good for your career. It could also go the opposite way. So, thank you, Ian.
But guys, 132 of you watching. Do jump in tomorrow for our TNG review. It's a good episode of TNG. It's the one where the main the side crew are taken over by ghosts, the spirits of crewmen. No, yes, no, twists and turns. And Friday for a versus.
Power plays. So
there we go. It's good. Everyone's off type. And Friday for our versus live, we take a ship and 2 crew members, each all elements randomized, and versus in randomized situation. It's a lot of fun. We have fun with it. This will be our second formal, third actual episode. We'll see if we've improved since 2013. It was a long time ago, 2013. 2023.
But it's our own show. It's called Trek Versus, and it's kind of like a game show against me versus Commander. You guys get to vote for the winners.
100% audience.
You get to swap people out on the fly.
Wonderful.
And you also get to suggest scenarios, ridiculous scenarios. It's a ridiculous what if.
Yes. And
it's fun.
And the swapping out for a super chat is so fun because you can literally curveball middle of a game between rounds, like, I don't think Sam should win that. Let me change, his Cisco for Porthos. It's like, oh, that's a good skill swap there. Great, thanks. And 7 more votes, guys. I'll finish out the poll. There's a slight winner. Then we do a final round as well.
And one more like to get to 150.
And yes, if anybody thinks, like I say, All Good Things Endgame should be in C, let us know. If not, next, Stuart.
Let's just move on for now. Picard Season 1.
Oh, on this one. It's a worse Voyager in every way. No one looks good in it. And it was so poorly filmed that there's a distinct black, deep rib on the seam line between the red and the thing, and you can't even see it on screen. I had to see one in real life to see it. This one feels lazy. It's just a worse Voyager in every single way, and it shows that having coloured shoulders does not equate to quality. And that little dip in the middle just looks bad.
It's got potential.
It's called Voyager.
For some reason, it didn't translate on screen. I kind of like the dip in the middle. I like that idea. But something about it just irks me. I think it's also the comm badge they used, all being the same color.
And too high. Now it
and
touches,
too high.
Shouldn't do.
Yeah. This one for me is a C.
Oh, D.
You gonna go D?
I'm gonna go high D.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work.
I can go with D.
It just doesn't work. And it
I'm
could
not,
work.
I'm not willing to fight for this one, but it looks good from this picture, but it doesn't look good in the show or on anybody.
And that's the joke, of course. Like, season 1 of Picard, all the stress, all the pressure. The first guy to wear it is that a receptionist chap clearly doesn't fit him. Clearly is not made for him. So he looks bad. First uniform looks bad in it. The lady who wears it for a scene or two looks better, but looks just plain Jane bad in it. And it's almost never seen again. And Riker looks okay in it, but he's too big and it doesn't suit him well. Throw him in his ones in Picard season 3, everyone looks good in. If you guys want to go against, but I just think it looks poor.
Yep. A lot of people are agreeing D, so I'm happy with that.
Ooh.
Next up is Picard season 2 and 3.
You can take this one, Stuart.
Which is much better. This carries on some traditions from the Monster Maroon with the stripe on the leg. And you've also got the flap type detail, which is also prevalent in Lower Decks and a few other things. So the lines on the shoulders or the arrows don't go down too far either. Nice color choices as well. It's kind of like a cross between Voyager and Lower Decks. And I do like the red striping on it. So, yeah.
And I'm specifically calling out, they do change between 2 and 3. That's why I called it season 3, because season 2 version is not fitted well. And they improve in season 3, which actually does go in, which helps a lot. And the women's are more fitted properly, just better fit. So, and the shirt's different. So we're saying season 3 because it's subtly different, but all of it's better. I don't want to talk about season 2 because it's not it's the same thing but worse. It's funny comparing these. It is just the Lower Decks uniform, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, basically just simpler.
Different colors, yeah.
Just simpler, just Voyager Lower Decks. And the lack of collar. Which I think Lower Decks has. I can't zoom in, so does Lower Decks have a collar? It does, yeah. So lack of collar with a black undershirt, which works well for them. Wouldn't necessarily work. I mean it's smart, it's Rathacon, it's Voyager, it's very clearly stealing from Rathacon. I don't know if Terry saw Lower Decks to notice that uniform just slightly different, but it's actually very, very the same. But then it's just the Voyager shoulders.
I think Lower Decks is a bit better because of the collar and the striping going around the collar. Plus, there's more differentiation in colors. So,
I like the but I like the sleekness of the Picard one more overall. But I'll give this one a high B. Personally,
yep, I was thinking B myself.
It just doesn't quite. And people, I put me in it, Emma in it, Marcus in it. People look fine in it. 7 looks good in it. Like, yeah, pretty good. Happy with a B.
Yep. Same.
Cool.
Next up.
Oh, this is my one. 29th century. I dig this one.
We're almost done. We got 3 more.
And then you guys can vote to swap them if you want to. Because, guys, keep sharing your thoughts, comments, questions. We're a bit more to hit our first goal. Helps out if you can. Relativity. Designing the mega future is very difficult. So I like this because it's a really good fabric choice. It's a upholstery fabric for sofas. I think it has a really nice texture. The diamonds reflect the badge. And if you look at the uniform, all the diamonds go down the arm. It's all one unified direction, which actually adds a certain something. It's subtle, but it's there. I like the badge. I like the line here because it gives a nice split between elements. The collar the lack of collar I don't love. I wish it was higher, but the white undershirt, which is an undershirt, it works fine. It's a stylized Voyager, but I really do like the color, the slightly different color blue, and the copper, and the print. So the things it does well, I think, are really nice aesthetically. My favorite, but I like it. I think the actors look good in it as well, which helped. I think they all looked good in it. That's my thoughts.
Well, Shea Locomotive Productions stars in $2. Picard seasons 2 and 3 for A tier, so I did move it.
Bollocks. Okay, there we go.
I'm gonna move it over here. Actually, it's low A.
Okay.
Tier.
Well, you guys run the roost. Unless it wants to be down, which you can do. No. Yes. Stuart, what are your thoughts?
I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I don't like the material they use for the top part for the arm sleeve, and also the one arm sleeve being a different color. That is so TOS Alien of the Week. It's like a fabric, like a upholstery material, and I don't really. It seems too Romulan to me. I just don't like it. I don't like the line across it either. That it doesn't tie in with the way that the cut of the sleeve goes down.
It's also not a line. It's technically a flap, but you can't see that here. It's actually a fabric that goes down. It creates a color differently.
Okay. I'm just not a huge fan of them. They look a little pajama-like to me, and
they are more pajama, yes.
Yeah.
But sci-fi Trek pajamas. They have a style and design to them.
But they definitely feel like an Alien of the Week instead of an actual Starfleet uniform to me. So I don't hate it. I just don't think it makes a good Starfleet uniform. And it's not. It's temporal investigator. It's temporal agents, but
yeah, it's Federation, not necessarily Starfleet.
I want to give it I think you're probably going to say a B. I want to give it a C.
Can we agree to have a high C and move one of the other ones over? Because I like it more than Cage. I like it more than Discovery. I like it more than everything in C. Personally.
I don't. We can go high C. Trying to put it between C and B.
No, just move the lower decks or Discovery over to the other side. Yeah, just put it. Just make it high C. Because I like the fit on actors quite well in the episode. I think it does what it's trying to do really well in the abstractness of it. It's my favourite, but I think it does what it's trying to do. It's a very, very hard thing to do. Really well. And I like the fabric a lot, so
yeah, I'm totally fine with C for that one.
Yeah.
And high C I disagree with, but it's in the C range.
And I would say I like it more than the Enterprise uniform, because it's certainly more Star Trek than that, because it actually has the colour, the badge, the pips. The Enterprise does not have the badge. It has a patch. It doesn't have.
It's because there was no patch.
Indeed, so it's more of a uniform than that, because it actually has more uniform pieces. The other one's just a jumpsuit, but that's not what we're doing here. That's fine. Anyway.
See, it is. Oh my good Christ! All right.
Yep,
so
his good Christ is back.
Here comes the next F tier.
4 more votes, guys, on the poll. 4 more, and we do a final round. So vote now. Everyone, vote now.
I'm saying this is votes. F tier going into this.
Okay, what is it, Stuart?
And one more like. We gotta get to 150. One more. One of you hasn't hit like, and I know it.
Oh, what? That one of you? Goodness.
All right, so. All right, here's the future McDonald's uniform. This looks good on Admiral Vance. This is a good Admiral's uniform. It's not a good crew uniform. Because when they were all wearing them on the bridge, and I know I think they said that it was like a special dress uniform, because it's just garbage. It's hot garbage. Again, fucking Discovery. Why asymmetrical everything? The bottom of this is awful. It looks like it's been buttoned up wrong. It looks stupid. I hate the gray color. It's not a dark gray. If it was darker gray, it might be better. The little epaulets on the.
And this is further future than 29th century. It's so much worse. It's not sci-fi at all. I mean, in fairness, that time agent versus person on duty, I get it, it's not special, fine, but it doesn't look sci-fi, it doesn't look advanced, it doesn't look sleek compared to the 20th century. All those things it looks to me.
Well, you know what? I'm going to pull in the other one for comparison because they're similar.
And guys, I'll close the poll now just because I want to do the last poll, so I'll briefly just call that out. Is this your favourite uniform? 66% say Wrath of Khan. 24% say Lower Decks. 7% say these uniforms, the one you just pulled in, at 7% for Discovery Season 4. 3% of 137 says Discovery Seasons 1 and 2. So final poll coming, guys, so vote right as you see it. Let us know.
Yeah, so here they are side by side. I'm going to continue my diatribe. The little collar thing, I really dislike that very much. And the colored stripe just doesn't work for me. Now, moving to the later one, which is bright color with a black stripe, I think is much better. Even the asymmetry of it looks kind of cool against the black pants. It's still not one of my favorites, but it's a huge improvement over what they had for the last episode, I think, of season, 3? Yeah, the Discovery 3189, the gray one, for me, it's easily a D, easily an F. Sorry, easily an F. That's what I meant to say. I'll hold off on saying where I think the 3190 should go. What are your thoughts on this one?
So yeah, Vance, he looked good in it. It worked.
Yes. Except for the asymmetry. Fix that shit.
But at least it's characterful. The red really pops against the grey. So, and almost every shot ignores the bottom of the uniform, which pushes out further for no reason. Also, the boots are too militaristic. They look like riding crop boots meets, not Nazi boots, but military. Like, no. Given black trousers would be probably better.
They do look like Nazi goose stepping boots.
Okay, there you go. We both said it. Conceptually, I don't mind it as a uniform. There's a certain design to it. But yeah, having the epaulets, having one at the neck, it's a worse pip than a pip. But it's different. It's just trying to be different. It's just how we redesign the wheel. There's an interesting new wheel. All the credit for a new wheel. Is it the best uniform? No. But they got almost perfection with all the other uniforms, which are yes, they're almost all perfect for their own various reasons. I saw that. I sort of do like the grey in generalities, but yeah, Burnham looked bad, and the entire cast and bridge looked a variety of good and bad, but Vance looked good. I remember him. The season 4 uniforms, as we joked in the trailer, why are they so bright? Like, we said this. I photoshopped this. I remember the review. I did it live. What if you swap the colours around?
Because the show and the sets are so dark.
Well, sure. So, having that sort of colour works better on a Star Trek way. Cool. But the colours are so goddamn bright. There should have been a far more TNG, wine, muted dark. If they'd done that, they'd look so much nicer. So much nicer. And remove all the epaulets. Like, the basic stripe colour jacket, because the jacket's fitted nicely. I think you can look good in it. But there are so many small flaws with it.
Do you agree that the asymmetry on the red one looks better?
Well, this is also the cosplay one, so I'm not going to judge that specifically. I think they meant to be the same.
Doesn't matter the cut. I'm just saying.
It seems in this version.
It seems purposeful, whereas the grey one seems like somebody miscut the pattern or something.
I mean, they're both fan made. I'm not going to... Sure. Yes, I guess. I don't know. It gives it more of a woman vibe, but also it's clearly cut in for women, so that gives more of a skirt vibe slightly. I don't know. Possibly. I like the red one more, but I wish it wasn't so garishly coloured, and I wish the epaulets were gone. But the design of the jacket's fine, but it's certainly on the lower tier because, again, we have better things. Can you pull them away for a second so I see what we've got where? I need some contrast. Thank you. I think I would say the grey, I would go D, not F. Just because
I even put it low F.
Because Vance looks good in it.
As an admiral's uniform, yes, but I said as a crew uniform, no. So if you want to put it on the alternate uniforms for an admiral uniform, it might rank higher.
Yeah. Hold on. Is his any different? Because that's important. No, his uniform's totally different. That's why I think it's better. It's totally different.
Okay.
Fuck it, F.
But low F even.
Well, I mean, no, I prefer it to the other two. I would say high F. I prefer it to the other two by a substantial margin.
No, I prefer the Discovery Season 2 Pike one, even though the asymmetrical color makes me want to vomit. And I'd much rather have that be that close to having a complete monster maroon.
The red, I mean D.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
It's like, it's so easily seeable. So easily, right?
Seasily, you could say.
Yes, because I don't think the cage looks necessarily much better. But it has a charm to it the other one doesn't. Can we swap the... Technicalities. Can we swap the Into Darkness 09 one and this red one? Because I definitely think it should be higher than that.
So you want to swap the Into Darkness...
With this red one, yes. So a higher D than that. I don't like that being higher than this.
Well, that has nothing to do with...
Well, we're going high and low D. We're going, you know...
Well, we were, but... Yeah, I agree with that, if you want to do that. But that's just being nitpicky for the sake of being nitpicky.
Well, we've got a double line. And amazingly, no thanks for Super Chat, none of them are going to be overlapping. We have 5 spots left.
I know, I thought we were going to have some problems. But it worked out pretty good. Wow.
This is your chance to super chat, and we do need a few more guys being wonderfully honest, to move anything. How do we feel about this looking in contrast?
I'm pretty confident with all of it. I might move your temporal dude into B.
Okay.
But barely. But I'd want to swap it out for the Prodigy one.
Oh no,
I don't like that picture though. Oh. The uniform might be great, but the pictures are the pictures.
Well, I mean, Google Prodigy uniform, the Andorian, it looks pretty good in that. Or do you want to find your picture?
No, I got it.
Because that's actually how it looks. You just got to add the striping. They're more built.
Yeah, so much better looking. All right.
I still don't think Uhura's uniform in Classic TOS Red quite deserves to be as high. It doesn't work as well as those in the lineup.
I disagree.
Okay.
I love this. I love the female TOS uniforms. Sorry. Shea Locomotive Productions, $5. Move Enterprise to A and Cage to B.
No, only one per super chat. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a doofus. So pick or super chat again.
I'm willing to listen. Enterprise to A, I'm happy with.
I would disagree, relatively strongly, because it's just so it's a boiler suit. Sorry, it's like go construction site, you'll find them. You know, or a submarine, which is the point. But it's just.
So we're not going to move it?
No, we have to if they clarify. But I'm just saying, I would definitely not put it. I would rather put it in C than A personally.
No, it was good in B or A. Sorry, I still prefer it in B, but
well, Shay, pick you either have Cage or Enterprise or Super Chat again because we're almost at our minimum goal, which is wonderful. So if that's what
the
meant.
Thinking Cat throws in £5 and says, "Move the Enterprise to A tier. It's my favorite, and it has pockets."
Well, there you go.
Well, it's an A tier,
which does therefore mean Shay's Cage becomes B, which I definitely disagree with. But hey ho.
Don't call me a hoe.
I can do
bitch.
whatever I want.
You can't though.
It's my show too.
Oh no, it's fine, Don. It's fine. This is personal preference. And Shay comes in with a double steel, double cage. I just don't remember anyone looking particularly good in it. Like, just okay. You know? But it got upgraded to B. So you're saying you would have moved Temporal Agent to B if we had space? So you said swap for Prodigy, but if you don't have to swap, would you put Temporal in B? So I think I prefer it to Cage, personally.
I want to say like a B minus, so like between, but
well, that's in B. I mean, we can overlap. This is our time.
But we haven't so far, and it's perfect. It looks nice. We overlap, and it looks like shite.
Shizer.
Shite, I tell you. I could throw it like right there. That just makes the chart look ugly.
Oh, Brent loves relatively uniform. There you go. Thanks, Brent. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, any last super chats to move this? I'm mildly confident. I mean, how do we feel about Discovery uniform now in contrast, being at C?
I think it's a sharp-looking uniform. It just doesn't fit the era. And there's too many deltas on it. Change that shit. But I think it's and the asymmetrical collar, for the love of Christ.
I thought about that. Blends in more. Yes, I would agree with you there. I think D is insulting, B is far too generous.
Yes, absolutely.
I do think that if the Lower Decks live action had been just the goddamn animated, but in the proper fabric, I would have swapped them around. Lower Decks B, live action BC. Had that been the correct translation, I would have swapped them around. What do you think? Obviously, don't do that because that's not what happened. But
I know I'm not doing it. Relax. Just making it look a little bit less ugly.
It does. So had that been what happened, do you think you would have agreed with me, or both been in B then?
Yes, I think they both would have been in B.
Okay, it would be the same thing, just a better fabric.
I was hoping for something more accurate. Then when we saw it, we were disappointed because the line was so low, and
they just got it wrong.
There you go. Discovery to F, just for the color. I mean, you can, almost for me, yes.
But you can super chat that if you want to skew the rating. And of course, the poll was the winner of the previous two competitions. With 52 votes, you can entirely change the results. We'll go for another minute or two. So vote now. We're at 42% Ratagon, 58% First Contact. Last few minutes, 50 votes. Vote now. There's over 100 people watching. Vote. Join us tomorrow for our TNG review. Friday for our verses. You will enjoy that, so jump in. And I've already prepped our next week rankings, which I think will be interesting. A few less for that, although this has been pretty diverse.
It's also a long one because we had so many.
Mm-hmm. And some good debates as well. It's funny, for such simple things, there's a lot to uniforms. As simple as they relatively are. But yeah, we've got all of the classic uniforms of the first 5 television shows in S. What a milestone of beauty that the first 5 mainline, TOS, TNG, Voyager, Rathacon, First Contact, all the classic ones are all, even though really quite different, all of them tone-wise, all are that top tier. That says something remarkable about Star Trek to hit 5 home runs. Okay, yes, with Cage and season, but we got there. 5 home runs.
Yeah.
And then B, we have a lot more curveballs. We have TOS Red, we have Beyond, we have Stranger Worlds, we have Picard's flashback, one scene, Enterprise, and season 2 Picard. Broad spectrum there. B, we have the ones that didn't quite measure up. We have the Cage, the TNG Season 1, the Franklin, the Relativity, the Una variant, Stranger Worlds, Lower Decks, and Prodigy. So all ones didn't quite work as well. C, Discovery, Lower Decks Live Action, and Stranger Worlds, Rathacon. Sort of outliers in they've all done something wrong. Like, there's elements that doesn't work. If you've misdone something that you could improve, which is ironic because 2 of them are in the improved aisles. They've done things to make them worse. Ironic as that is.
See, here's the thing too. The motion picture one could fit in a C if they had better color choices. I think the motion picture ones could be better with just some color instead of being so gray and blah, gray and white and just blah. You know.
I don't know, because they're still boring as all hell. They're just 2 pieces of fabric. There's nothing doing there.
That's what I mean. Add some color, add some striping maybe, and I think they really would have popped.
Maybe. I don't know.
For Christ's sakes.
Oh.
The Enterprise Sierra, just throw a fucking belt on it. And make it a thinner thing underneath. Oh, it's weird. The Monster Maroon scattering is really weird.
Or give them a black undershirt with a collar to replica TNG Season 3.
Sure.
It would make sense, but that would sharpen up the top bit. D, we have the pajama. The ironically, there's all the ill-fitting ones. Give or take.
Yeah.
The Kelvin one scene, the TMP, the Discovery Season 4, the All Good Things and All Variant Futures, the Picard Season 1, and the JJ09 Into Darkness. And F, we have the failures, the Discovery Enterprise uniform, the Discovery uniform, and the Season 3 uniform from Discovery. Damn. Final Super Chat slot and final votes, and that'll be a show, Stuart.
It will be. Hit the
Call
like
that
button if you haven't.
Yeah, please do.
Another $5 super chat would be amazing, just to kind of round us out.
I'd call that a wonderful welcome to 2024.
Well, we also got 3 new members during this live, which is amazing to get new members during a live. So thank you guys.
An amazing welcome to 2024, indeed.
Yeah.
Good to see you all with us. Please, like I said, join the rest of the week. We have lives the rest of the week.
And Shay says, I honestly would swap All Good Things with the bad maroon.
No,
I'm very happy to put all Good Things into F, but
it's not as bad as those. It's not as bad as F. Janeway and Nog look good. Not great, but good. And no one looks good in the Monster Maroon. Not bad, because it just looks so much worse. Well, Garrett looked okay, but not good.
Yeah.
They were trying. I would, Stuart. Blackman was Rathacon. I mean, similar people. Although I can't imagine the difficulty of how do you redesign TOS 6 times? It's like I keep seeing TOS. We have TOS. We have a TOS era in every slot except C, which is kind of interesting. 2 and A.
Anyway, guys, I think...
And Gorgonzola says, yes, customs do suck. But yes, thank you very much for sending that. He sent me a not Lego Enterprise. Very nice. No, I had no idea what it was when it came. I had no idea. I was like, what is this? And it was the first thing we opened on Christmas Day because it was so like, what is this? And you'd not said what it was. So I was like, oh my God. And there's 2 notes. It's very nice. Very, very nice. And my dad was very impressed. I joked, Maria will be watching the Enterprise. That was very nice. Thank you very much. Always amazes me how few pieces those sets have for how big the box is, though. Not a lot of pieces.
Mako and Franklin uniforms. The Franklin uniforms are on here.
Yep, Franklin is
They're
a
in
B.
B slot. And Mako is a specialist, which will be in the specialist lineup.
It's not standard Starfleet, it's the standard Mako, which is not standard Starfleet.
Yeah. But the Franklin is there. It's in B. It's sandwiched between the top 2.
Yes.
There it is there. We did talk about it.
Yes, we did. And 61 votes. The first contact Stuart wins out against Wrath of Khan, 61% to 39%. Would you agree with our audience, Stuart? The fan favorite being first contact over Wrath of Khan?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, if I had to choose to wear one every day, I would take the Rathacon one. Or, I mean, the First Contact one, I mean, just for comfort. But,
There you go.
Shayla Locomotive Productions. I already moved all good things to F for you because I agree with you. And he also puts in $2. Bad
Boo.
Maroon D. Bad Maroon to the D. No.
Stuart.
I'm refusing that one.
Stuart.
I'm refusing that one.
But they got us to the minimum.
Nope. I don't care. That's one that it's even low. It's even low F. It's on the low F side for a reason because it's shit. So sorry, Shay. I'm not going to just. They can't all work. All the super chat movings. Sorry. I have spoken. I'm the captain. Speaking of, I think we'll call it quits there. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Yes.
Happy 24.
See you tomorrow.
Here, lives every day, now till Friday. So, 2 more days.
Join us there.
Until then, he's Commander Calkins.
He's kind of funny.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.